YouTube, if the Twitch audience tells you that I just lost the controller, they're making it up and they're lying. Don't listen to them. I don't know how you would, because the chat box is off, but yeah.
I had lost my gun in the crash. Barry was nowhere to be seen.
Right. Cool. This way.
Barry! Barry!
Barry Burton.
Man, you're okay! Jeez, it's good to hear your voice! I was trying to get out of the car, but the ground gave way. Man, what a drop! Don't worry, your cutout is fine.
Forget that! Are you okay?
I hit some bushes, didn't get a scratch. There's no way you can climb down, though. It's like a sheer wall.
The cutout's fine, chat. Everything is well with the world. There is nothing to be worried about. Oh, I thought I had to walk over that. I didn't. It's all good.
Ah! Al! There's something moving down here!
Barry, it's a taken! Use a flare, Barry!
Oh, yeah!
Barry, are you alright?
I'm
Oh, dear.
Al. I'm great!
I took one step too far and slipped over the edge.
Man, you're okay!
All we need is the cutout Barry, not so much. Instead, what else knows what's up.
I was trying to get out of the car, but the ground gave way. Man, what a drop! Don't worry, your cutout is fine.
Forget that! Are you okay?
I hit some bushes, didn't get a scratch. There's no way you can climb down, though. It's like a sheer wall.
Right, am I going to fall off the edge this time?
Ah! Al! There's something moving
It's a
down
forced
here.
walk, by the way. I'm not
Barry, it's a
toggling
taken.
between running and
Use a
walking.
flare, Barry!
Oh, yeah!
Barry, are you alright?
I'm good, Al. I'm great. Guess you never messed with anyone from New York City before, huh?
Clearly not. This is the Anderson farm.
You're gonna have to find your way around to the farm, Al. I'll be waiting.
Also
Barry,
known as
just
copyright
wait for me,
claim.
okay?
Al, I'm not staying here. It's suicide. I'm going to the farm. I'm gonna go ahead and secure the area. You can catch up. Don't worry about it. I'm on the case.
Now he's Rambo. This would turn into a disaster if I didn't catch up with Barry.
I mean, he has the cutout, so really, there's nothing that could possibly go wrong. Is there anything over here? Nope. Like, obviously, yes, I've got the guide and I know what to look out for, but the guide doesn't tell me where ammunition is and things like that, so it's always worth checking. I didn't know if there might be a flare or something just tucked away over there. Rad. What am I actually looking for? Run over a minecart bridge, head to your left. Once you're at the light before the mine, turn around and run to the back of the wooden platform. Okay. Green light, green light, green light, green light, green light, green light, green light. You fools! You ran into my trap. Oh, it's over there, I can see it. Just dealing with this poltergeist. I'm in the wrong place for it. Come and get me! You're trapped on a pole, you idiot! Right, that's better. You can do it. I believe. Do you like how I stopped it with my face? I was trying to stop it actually in the light. Actually, this is good. This is good. Hit the pole. Yeah. Barrel 3, barrel 2, Alan 1. Run back to the light. Just keep dodging. Run in an unpredictable pattern. You can kind of see the manuscript page I'm going for. Well, that worked out.
When he stopped the car at the Anderson farm, Walter felt relieved. Oblivion was close at hand. The brothers wouldn't miss a jar of moonshine or two in the booby hatch. But then he saw the man on the porch, and he knew who it was. Driving for his life and knowing it was useless, he didn't realize he was crying until he couldn't see the road for the tears.
Oh dear. Next to a generator, I have to start to continue. So I was thinking about this. Like, obviously, this isn't. I mentioned this last time, but I wouldn't consider this a horror game particularly. Mostly because it's really good at telling you when the spooks are going to happen. It's a great atmospheric game. It's a good thriller, but it broadcasts the spooks. Like you can tell when the Taken are going to spawn because the dark presence makes itself known in like a cutscene, or the light takes on that underwater effect. Ow! The barrel came out of nowhere. Yeah. So it's great at foreshadowing the danger without being like horribly spooky, and I think that's a good accessibility thing that a lot of other games could. There's nothing over here. Could learn from. I'm going to take the stabs. I'm not going to get the full damage from dropping down. It's not worth it. Ow. Although I guess it does aggro those. Where am I even going? Tried to time a dodge. Clearly it didn't work. Serpentine. Serpentine. Also, of course, the music picks up.
Shadows crawled over the gate. I needed a light to destroy them to get through.
I'm just going to assume it's up the stairs. Yep. There it is.
Agent Nightingale stared at the passed-out rider. The man was sleeping off one hell of a night. Nightingale felt a stab of envy at Wake's oblivion, but he had a job to do. He put the gun to Wake's head and almost became a murderer. His hand shook and his throat felt tight and dry. Biting his teeth, he tried again to pull the trigger. He lost the nerve. Wake stirred. Nightingale would have to settle for an arrest.
Oh, that doesn't sound great as foreshadowing goes. Although I suppose, you know, it's foreshadowing. It's probably not supposed to be great. Don't mind me just taking a shortcut. I intended to do that. I know this says differently. Again, telling an untruth. Physics, really?
I could sense the movement in the woods ahead. Facing the enemy without a weapon was dangerous, but I had no choice.
I mean, we have a torch. It's got to count for something, right? You'll eventually keep running until you find yourself at a little campsite with tents. You'll get a better flashlight and see a thermos. There's the Taken.
Omega-3 fatty acids are good for your heart.
Really? Right, well, I figured the generator would save me. The generator may in fact have killed me, so I'm just going to run. I assume it powers a light of some kind. God, Alan, your stamina, why is it so bad? Why did you just literally appear in front of me? Alright, that despawns them and gives me a checkpoint. And also, of course, gives me my health back.
A car was driving away from the farm, headed in the same general direction as I was. For all I knew, it was Barry, caught in the consequences of leaping before looking.
What do you think, chat? Is it Barry? I'm going to pick this up first. But a nice little overlook. This, actually, nice little campsite. I like it. I dig it. Oh, hey, batteries. Please, thank you. Okay, the next one is just given to me. Look at that view, chat. Well, nice little farm.
The car was heading for the cabin up ahead. It wasn't far. If it was Barry, I would see the damage soon.
Yeah, just that cabin. Just not going to get there immediately. I'm going to take some sidetrack. No, that's not the right phrase at all. Just going to do some. Nope, the word's gone. I have no idea what I'm trying to say. I'm not going to get there directly. Is what I'm saying. The light.
I'm trying to deliver each page to the right time and place. I'm trying to show you how the story goes.
There's someone in the light chat.
I had seen glimpses of the light before. I had seen it in my dream. It was a strange spaceman or a diver in a bulky suit. He was the one who'd been placing the pages on my path. The dark presence followed the choreography laid out to it in the manuscript, growing stronger and stronger, moving like a storm from one scene of destruction to the next. But it was still bound to follow the story and chained to the dark place it came from. When the story reached the end it longed for, it would finally be free.
Very cosmic horror. And that's why I like the game. Oh, more bear traps, by the way. A reminder, if Alan treads in them, he survives, but it spawns enemies. Stone building generator manuscript. Oh, that was close. Woo! I like how they stop, like, glinting if you get too close to them.
The storm raged on as the Anderson brothers walked unsteadily away from the clinic with the other patients in tow, knowing that this time they wouldn't return. The darkness around them seethed with horrors, but Tor and Odin were unafraid. Their eyes glinted with guile. They knew every secret path, and there was blood on their hands. They had fought these shades before.
Oh, cool. In case you needed more kind of evidence that Tor and Odin were pretty badass people. Alright.
Someone had left a gun behind. Now I had a fighting chance of reaching the farm.
Taken filled with darkness. I came up here for the thermos. Complete BS spawn, by the way, because obviously I've been down there. I know there's nothing down there. Continue on our ways through more bear traps until you reach the cabin. Okay. Oh no, I guess I haven't been in this bit of the of this building. Right, so next landmark chat. Can I get the checkpoint again? No. Okay. Next landmark being the cabin that we saw the car driving towards. Okay, can't get up there. Auto aim, save me now. Hang on. Mostly because I keep eating stuff. Ah, I've just noticed it's the double barrel breach action shotgun. Fine. Gotta run past what I can. And you know. And wait until I hear the throw noise. Just get to the light. There we go. Goodbye. So if I do a nightmare run...
I could see the car, but there was no sight of the driver.
That's basically what the nightmare run will look like. It's just me running as fast as I can towards the...
Hello? Anybody here? Barry!
No!
Ah, it's Walter.
You're not! Please! What are you? No! Don't! I'm sorry!
Don't forget he saw someone on the steps of the farmhouse. Go into the room on your right, and then go to the room on the left, and the TV starts automatically. Just remembered there's a really annoying to get collectible in a cabin later on in the game.
I know you. You were in jail the other day.
I went to the farm again for the moonshine, you know? It makes you see. They're not gonna miss it. They're in the loony bin. But my buddy, Danny, I lost him. Something's gone wrong with him. It's not him. Like a real bad follow-up to a real good movie where the best friend's suddenly the bad guy. Who wrote this crap anyway?
I did. Okay. You good? You had freaked out a little bit there? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Walter. That's on me. I wrote this.
I've run through every possible course in my head. If I continue like the Dark Presence wants me to, the story I'm writing won't save Alice. It's a horror story, and it's going to kill her, and me, and everybody in this town. No one will survive. Darkness will consume everything. This is what it's wanted all along. It will be free, unstoppable. It used Alice to get to me, dangled her in front of me to keep me going. It was never going to release her. I'm going to change this. I'll escape. I've written myself into the story. I'm now the protagonist. This feels like a terrible risk, but it's the only way to save Alice. I'll be bound by the events of the story just as much as anyone else who's been woven into it. The story must stay true for this to work. There have to be victims along the way, near escapes, cliffhangers. In a horror story, it can't be certain that the hero will succeed or even survive. He almost has to die. I'll write my own escape into the story next. I need help. Zane's going to be the one who'll help me. I'll make it happen.
Alan with that genre awareness. Okay. Excuse me, sir.
Let me guess. Danny, huh?
Can there be like a press B to make the Billy bass sing? Also, 100%
Still a
true.
good distance away. I'd need a car to get there fast.
Farm animals, chat, are not pets. Also, congratulations on Stairwood for getting 5 points in the jump catch game.
For a moment, Hartman considered strangling the idiot. Mott was mean-spirited, but easily manipulated. An emotional infant who lived for his approval. Wake, by contrast, was a far more difficult subject. Mott had given him too much leash. In 2 days, who knew what could happen? Hartman would have to find a way to rein him in, and quickly.
Oh, Hartman. You tried. These points are mine. All mine. They really are. Okay. I heard the breathing over here, so I'm not surprised it's over here. Oh, that deer's fine, by the way. Don't worry about it. It's just sleeping upside. It's bat deer. It's just sleeping upside down. That's the locked door in the cabin. Okay.
If Barry wasn't up here, he was probably in trouble down at the farm. For a moment, I felt bad for doubting him. After all, I made it this far myself. But Barry was Barry.
Didn't know if there'd be a flare or a battery in the outhouse. And yes, Barry is in fact Barry, chat, in case you were curious. Also, check out I think that's the Firewatch Tower I was at in the last chapter. I do like how you can, because Bright Falls is such a small place, I do like the fact that you can see like places that you've been to before as you progress throughout the game. Or places, in fact, that you are going to end up going to. Continue until you come on to another fork in the road. Get out of the car and go right. It's next to the right path you could have turned on. I assume it means down here. Except, of course, this is what happens when you get out of the car. You know what? I could just get in the car and drive. I'll just, you know, I'm going to die, actually. But after that, yep, got the flare off, taking them with me. I'm just going to drive down there. That seems a lot safer.
Farm was still a good distance away.
Oh, gosh.
I'd need a car to get there fast.
Okay, nothing over there. Cool. Right, so as I was saying, I'm just going to drive down there, I think. It's telling me to get out of the car because I have to then just go straight ahead from where I parked the
Barry
car
wasn't up here.
for a
He
supply
was
chest.
Probably in trouble down at the farm. For a moment, I felt bad for doubting him. After all, I made it this far myself. But Barry was Barry.
Except the game clearly expects me to be in the car with the number of enemies that it spawns. You know, whenever you're out of the car for a prolonged period of time. Because it wants me to go all the way up there. So if I... can find the thing I'm looking for. Well, I don't think it's going to be that far up because that's where the road loops around. I'm looking for a rusty track, another rust. Oh dear. For another rusty track. Oh, there it is. I found it. Get in the car before the timer expires. You'll notice the timer has stopped ticking because the music stopped to be like, hey, things are going to spawn if you don't get back in your car. Did I pick everything up that's in there? I did not. Oh, I guess Alan was like, yeah, there's nothing up there. I'm just going to stop. And you know what, Alan Wake? That's fair. There was nothing up there. Can I get into this? Oh, the ranger tower. That I was like, hey, that's where I was yesterday. Last time. Nope. Different ranger tower. Where's the way up? There it is. Okay, I didn't see that. That's on me. I was just trying to get a bit closer to the oh, that's a problem. That's good enough. Yeah, I was just trying to get a bit close to these stairs for the timer purposes, but I don't think the timer will apply this close. What am I actually looking for in here? Oh, it's the radio.
Well, as I'm sure everyone's noticed, that storm we all felt coming is finally here. The boys at the Weather Service reckon it'll last until morning at the very least. Pertaining to that, let me read that missing persons alert again. The Sheriff's Department's still looking for a Caucasian woman, 30 years old, slim and blonde with blue eyes. She may be lost in the woods, and it's possible she's been injured in a car accident. If you see her, please make sure you get her indoors and call the sheriff. It's bad weather to be caught out in, so if you see someone in the area who maybe looks a little confused, give them a hand, all right? This is Pat
Good old
Maine
Pat.
on KBF FM, hoping you're all safe and warm tonight.
It's an important email, but I shall read it later. I'm going to grab the hunting rifle for this, I think. Probably going to regret that decision in a moment, but there we go. I've used the shotgun a lot. I haven't really used the hunting rifle, so... that was my desk, don't worry about it. It's just my knuckle on my desk. Forced on foot, you see a windmill. Pass it on the right. Hey, I've got flares. In the car. And then this is where that road that I drove down previously would have brought me to. Oh god, the cars in this game, they handle so poorly. Where is it? There it is. No, I thought about it. I could probably have put the blocked the path. Oh dear. Yeah, I could maybe have blocked the road with the Jeep. This guy's playing a mean game of Tag Extreme. Yeah, don't challenge them to a game of tag. They will 100% win. Oh, we're nearly at the Horde event. Also, there's an achievement tied to it, so I guess we'll try for it. Here, I guess. Drop down, run past it, keeping it on your left. Head inside the barn type building. I guess that must be it. Because too far, and I'll reach the objective. Also, there's an arrow. Man, it sure is nice of whoever is leaving these for me to leave them. Head down the main path and I see some bleachers. Oh, I didn't realize I had the flare gun equipped. That was a waste. That's not a waste, however. Oh, bleachers, right. That's fully reloaded. Okay. Don't mind the fireworks, chat. I'm sure they're not there for any reason.
I'd known the brothers used to be some kind of rock stars, but it hadn't really sunk in until I saw the stage.
I was like, what stage? And then I realized that I was in fact looking at the stage.
Ow! Run! Incoming! There's too many of them!
God damn!
This is where the copyright strike claim happens.
I'm so glad you decided to go it alone, Mr. Bronson.
Shut up and shoot! Ow! We have to fight them off! I can set off more of the fireworks from here and help you out! Hey, Al! Did you notice there's a lot of ammo and stuff around? This place is stocked! Al, hold on! I'll try to get the stage lights on.
Yeah, please do. I was actually trying to pick this up when that guy just rocked up on me. Flashbangs. Oh, no. Do that.
Yes! Here we go! To the rescue!
I think that was a waste. I think it's only one, but there might be two there. Oh, I thought there was two over there.
Oh, damn it! Goddamn turn of the century wires! Hang on now! I'll get them working again, I promise!
Oh, you are. Now you are vulnerable. Where did you go?
Yes! Ow! Stay in the light!
What? What do you think I'm trying to do, Barry? There's the checkpoint.
Oh no, no! Why do you keep doing this to me? Do it for Barry, please, please, please!
Collateral carnage. Turn of 21st century wiring is actually pretty good. It is, isn't it?
Ow, please don't let
Have
me
that.
die. Although if I tried it, this is pretty much how I always wanted to
Have
go
that.
out.
I didn't see what the achievement I got was. I assume it was flashbang. Kill like X number with flashbangs.
They are trying to kill us. That's the high point of my life.
Children of the Elder God! Enjoy it! God damn it! There! Back in the game! Yes!
Checkpoint.
Oh! Yes!
God, this music is so good. 4 taken with a single flashbang. I didn't actually mean to drop that. That's on me. Have a flashbang, my friends. God, that song is really good.
That was awesome!
Bright Falls, rock and roll capital of America.
Rock and rolled. That achievement is for doing all of this without going down to the single bar of health.
Hey, ow!
The pump action was there all along. Can I? Is there any more hunting rifle ammo over here? No. You know what? I'll take the pump action. Just double checking. I'm at 65 of 100 thermoses. Yep. Oh, 69 manuscript pages, chat. You know what that means? Nice. Nice. Head to the right side of the stage. There are some circuits there with a manuscript attached. Face the direction. Okay, so over here. Ah, there.
Deputy Mulligan tuned Thornton's chatter out. He didn't think riders were particularly useful people, and a huge manhunt for one stuck him as idiotic. Certainly not worth the missed opportunity for coffee and pie. It wasn't even clear what the man had done, except run from them at the trailer park. Mulligan knew he wasn't alone. The sheriff's patience with the Fed was running out.
I mean, writers are kind of biased, but writers are pretty important people. Soon reach a farm with the cardboard replica facing the barn. Go to the far back right corner by a rusty tractor. Okay. There's Barry. Right. Barry, you good? Okay, Barry's pathing just freaked out. Let's probably carry a weapon that has ammunition in it. Oh. I guess this bomb.
See, bestseller? No reason to worry. Your cutout's good as new, right where I left it. I'll come back for it once we have the place secured.
Yeah, that's been my biggest worry all this time. We need to get this thing moved out of the way.
This is as far as I got before they ambushed me.
Could that green flashing light be helpful? Also, I like how Alan threw up his hands to be like, really? The cutout? I assume up here, and I assume Taken will spawn.
As the deputies hauled Wake and Wheeler away, Agent Nightingale eagerly examined the stack of papers Wake had been carrying. It was incomplete, a collection of random pages, but there was enough. He saw his own name in there, among others. His hand shook with emotion. Finally, it was proof. He had been right all along.
Proof of what, chat? I mean, Alan, as we've said a couple of times, complete a-hole, has some real anger management problems. And really isn't a very sympathetic hero, all things considered. So what could it be proof of? And jump.
Hey, I think Alan Wake here has something to say. What's that, Al?
Ooh, I'm Alan Wake. I'm always right about everything. And if I don't get my way, I'll sulk all day long. I'm always intense and moody. It makes me very attractive and mysterious. Right now, I'm just standing here because I need my best friend Barry to carry me. But that's okay. I can just take him for granted.
I think I see what you did there.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Got
You
some
want me to do my imitation of Barry Wheeler? No? Thought so.
transference going on there, Barry.
Wow!
What was it? On the right, a little bit away from where I wanted.
You look at that thing, Al! They really went all out with this Viking crap, didn't
Oh,
they?
longboat.
Look at all this stuff. They must have done okay for themselves, so how come I never heard of these guys before?
And this from the guy who learned about Ozzy Osbourne through reality TV?
Doesn't have anything to say about that, huh? Oh, it's right there. Night Springs.
We all spend a third
Oh,
of our
Night
dreams in that
Springs.
soft embrace,
Man,
somewhere
brings back
between
memories.
fantasy and
Hey,
oblivion.
remember when I got you that gig?
But
Your
dreams
first
have a
real
way of
writing
forcing
job. What got you
themselves into
started?
waking life,
Was this one of your
or vice
episodes?
versa.
Barry, be quiet.
In Night Springs.
We're watching TV.
Tonight's episode, The Dream of Dreams.
That's by someone else.
We join Mr. Jones as he explores the endless dreamscape, only to be brought to a sudden stop by a decidedly mundane situation. A long line of people.
Hey, Jones, right? Listen, we're gonna have to wait until His Highness over there is good and ready. Oh, wow. Who's that? You don't know him? What are you, new? He's the guy dreaming us. Well, not just us. He dreams everything. All of this. But wait, no. I'm the one who's dreaming. I'm asleep. Isn't this my dream? Oh, yeah. Sure. Get real, pal. You're just another dream. I'm a dream. You're a dream. The weirdo in the diving suit is a dream. And the girl made of smiles and sunshine is definitely a dream. but I'm pretty sure I'm dreaming this. Well, maybe you're a really confused dream. What am I, a shrink? All I know is I'm going with the smart guys, and they say that's the guy doing the dreaming. Right there. I don't know what that means. It means we keep him happy. No sudden falls. We make sure he has his clothes on when he goes out in public. No chases where the monster is nipping at his heels and he runs like crazy, but his legs don't seem to get him anywhere. None of that. Because if he wakes up in a cold sweat... Oh... Yeah, precisely. So we wait till he wants to move on. Keep things nice and calm. Hey, something's happening here. Yeah? What's that? What? Can't you hear that? Oh, God help us, it's an alarm clock. Oh, it's you, isn't it? Please, man, I got a wife and kids. Please don't wait.
And just like that, the dream ended. Yeah, and Sebadas, Barry does not know how to Netflix and chill. So that's TV show 11 of 14. Just check I've got all of those. I do. After the TV in the right corner of the barn for the next thermos. Right there. Head up to the second floor of the barn and we'll see the manuscript. Also, here's the boat from the other side. God, the sound design is so good. Look at the manuscript page, B chat.
It's 1976. Madness reigns at the Anderson farm. Contrary to all logic, the headiest ingredient of their moonshine is unfiltered water from Cauldron Lake. The Andersons feel like gods. Odin can't stop laughing. He contemplates cutting his eye out. Tor runs across the field,
He'd be Odin.
naked, shrieking, hammer in his hand, trying to catch lightning. Their songs have power. Something ancient is stirring in the depths, coming back.
I don't think that joke's bad enough to go in the Super Jokes playlist. We'll leave that as a... We'll leave that into the video. Just leave that as a video exclusive,
The
I feel.
Viking boat looked imposing, almost like a battering ram.
Odd you should say that. Come back to that, because this is what I need. Old Gods of Asgard, the 1975 Ragnarok tour. Be awed by celestial wrath and fury. April 11th, Seattle, Washington. April 13th, Bakersfield, California. April 14th, Long Beach, California. April 17th, New York City, New York. April 18th, Newark, New Jersey. April 22nd, Detroit, Michigan. April 26th, Jacksonville, Florida. April 27th, Tampa, Florida. April 30th, New Orleans, Louisiana. May 1st, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Thankfully, all of those states were abbreviations I recognize and know. Otherwise, that would have been real awkward. I would have just gone like him, or just not read it at all. Like how Barry doesn't react to this at all. Thanks, Barry. Oh, the Taken noise is back. Because they're taking her back. Nope. Didn't actually want to use that. The swap over to the flare took a bit longer than I was expecting it to.
I think we can make it through here.
What am I going for? Oh, one of you guys, huh? Ah, dang it! I tried to time the shotgun blast. Right, there's a collectible over here. I don't technically need it, There it is. Because there's no actual achievement tied to getting all of the pyramids. But I'm going for it anyway. Enter the next building with Barry, run up the stairs. Hey, are there any... Okay, hey, if I had a flare or flashbang, that'd be real good. Pretty sure this is an entirely optional thing. That I triggered by coming down here for the pyramid. Oh, look at me getting points in the jump catch game. Right, I'm going to go talk to Barry because that's a checkpoint. But before I do that, I think there was stuff I left in here that I should now be able to pick up. You know what? Let's put a new battery in. I've got the spares. Yeah. Okay, now I can grab the check. Oh, hello. Cool. Now I can grab the checkpoint with Barry and move on. Barry? Oh, I see. I have to go all the way around. Okay, it's not an optional encounter. You do have to do it. What's up, Barry? Run up the stairs.
Wow! Those geezers had quite a production going on.
Ah, we're on a still.
You know what, Al? If we make it through this alive, I'm gonna start representing them. Yep, sell this stuff online, maybe get a reality show going, release a new single.
Good luck with that, pal.
Hey, you find us a way out of here, okay? I'm gonna take a closer look at this stuff.
Sure thing, Barry. Don't mind me. I'm just, you know,
Be careful, Al!
grabbing collect. Really, my dude? Really? You're just gonna look?
You okay, Al? I'm good. Keep your eyes open, okay?
Okay, actually, I've seen the I see the objective is above me, but I left loads of collectibles down here. Not collectibles. Resources. Sorry, because I assumed because I hadn't looked at the map and hadn't seen that I'm supposed to go all the way to the top. So I'm just gonna really 1 box of shotgun shells. 2 boxes of shotgun shells. I'll take it. Plenty of people lurk. That's true, but that wasn't the supportive kind of lurk. That was the I'm gonna just jump out and yeet an axe at your, bury my axe in your face kind of lurk, which is not the lurk that I encourage on this channel. If I'm being honest with you all, very much not a fan of people lurking with the intention to put an axe in my face. Oh, and that's there if you don't pick it up on the stage, I guess.
As you regular listeners know, I tend to work through the night, but I'm not the only one. Deputies Mulligan and Thornton are taking a couple of moments off their busy schedule to join me here in the studio. Boys, how busy are you now? Deerfest is almost here, isn't it? I bet that keeps you in business.
Pretty busy, yeah. Actually, Pat, we've been real busy with other stuff, which concerns an ongoing investigation. We can't talk about that, Thornton.
It's true.
I wasn't gonna say anything. I was just saying we got, other irons to fry.
Well, I'm
How
saying.
would you compare your workload to last year's? Things have seemed relatively peaceful to me, but people do tend to get a little wild this time of year.
Oh, it's wild, Pat. It's pretty wild. There's been all sorts of trouble this year. Vandalism, fighting, public disturbances. A lot of people gone missing, too.
Yeah, it's pretty much the usual stuff, Pat. Just, a lot more of it.
Now, is it just me, or does Deerfest get wilder every
Have you gone missing, Green
People
Curtain?
seem to be more drunk, at least, or they start earlier and younger.
Oh, it's definitely not just you, Pat, but...
Definitely, Pat.
Hey, I'm talking here, Thornton. Oh, shoot, I lost my train of thought.
Not just me.
Oh, yeah, it's wilder, Pat, but actually most of the trouble seems to be coming from grown men. People who ought to know better, Kids are doing fine this year.
Well, that's nice to hear at least. Boys, I want to thank you for stopping by. I'll let you get back to your patrol.
Sure thing, Pat.
Yeah, sure thing, Pat.
Because Alan's not going to. Oh, because Alan's not going to write children into his story that he's going to have to then, kill.
I could see the building that had to be the Andersons' home on the other side of the field.
There.
It wasn't far now. I wasn't worried about trusting the ramblings of two burned-out geriatric wrecks. They had the goods.
Okay. Time to fight my way to Barry. I do this for Barry.
Got to be kidding me.
Chat, the Combine Harvester is possessed. Okay, you take 2 hits. I mean, I guess it is a Combine Harvester in all fairness. That's fair, that's fair. Right, how am I going to do this? Wrecked? Yes. 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 There's no two ways about that. I did just get wrecked. Okay, get ready for a thrashing. Yeah, see, I wasn't ready for it last time, but I'm totally ready for it. I wish I had a flare.
You've got to be kidding me.
Right, much better. Are there? Chat, can you confirm or deny this? I don't know why I keep going for the head. The body is a much better, like, center of mass is a much better option. Really? Ah. There's at least 2 of each. It's true. There are at least 2 pigs and cows. Just double checking. Yes. Okay. The next thing is just in the Anderson house in general. So that's fair. That's fine. I guess that's the key.
Al? Is that you out there, buddy?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's me. Hang on.
Hey, let's go, man.
It's just... Hey, where's the cutout? Oh, no, the cutout's safe. Right, he left the cutout behind to keep it safe.
I think we're gonna have to work together to open this gate, Al. Looks pretty heavy. Ah!
That's not how that works, but okay.
Hey, I think that's the farm on the other side of the field. We're almost there.
Why did you say it?
This farm is a crazy place for crazy people.
We should feel right at home then.
Valhalla.
Come on, one more gate. Let's do this thing.
Can hear the breathing of a safe place again. I wonder how long the chainsaw's been in there. Old gods know the truth.
The lights are out. I guess we better check the fuse box.
Ready for some more copyright claim chat? The music's pretty good though. Now go to the kitchen. It's on the counter. That's what I have to play.
The power downstairs was out, but I was sure I could fix that at the fuse box.
Okay. And then the next... Ooh. Do not recycle. Loads of fireworks just lying around. The last collect... Barry. Okay, I guess I'll let you into the bedroom. Old gods of Asgard, the Valley of my shadow. Right, last collectible of the chapter should be manuscript page 73, assuming I've been following things correctly. Where is the list? Yep, 72 of 106. Oh, and that was Coffee Thermos 69. Nice.
You know, this place looks kind of lived in. I thought the Andersons were in the booby hatch. Come on, Al, let's get the lights on, huh?
Oh, okay.
Again, Alice's screams rang in the stillness of the night. I saw myself run toward the cabin, flashlight in my hand. I followed my past self. I was an out-of-body observer, a time traveler in a crazy drunken dream. This was the beginning. The night Alice had disappeared. The mystery of what had happened during the missing week was about to reveal itself.
Yes, although if you haven't figured it out by now, Alan, I don't know quite what to tell you. Every now and then the torch kind of glints off of something, and I'm like, is that a collectible? No, it's just a torch.
Can you hear that, Al? Music?
Of course. We need to find where it's coming from. That's the message the Andersons talked about. That's the whole reason we're here.
Lady of the Light? Oh, that's gotta be... What's-her-face? The crazy lamp lady from the town.
Mrs. Weaver.
Cynthia Weaver.
Or Miss Weaver.
Right. Must be.
Anyway, I'm going to poke it. This is important, so I'll mute.
Okay.
We need to find Cynthia Weaver. We'll stay here for the night and head back to town as soon as it gets light.
Hey, Al. Lots of hours before dawn. Might as well get some rest. And by rest, I mean drunk.
Come on, Barry, this is... Yeah, what the hell?
seriously, because I know we don't get along, but we're gonna find her, right? And even though you're a crazy bastard, I'm gonna stick by you, no matter what, ever, Al. Sure, like a brother.
I'm a writer, god damn it.
Correct.
If I just wanted to, I could write 10 books a year. And they'd be the best books that year.
No, you couldn't.
That's right, I couldn't. But I could, because I'm a writer.
What? What do they put in this stuff? I feel like my brain is coming out of my nose. I'm gonna get the recipe off those coots and be a booze millionaire.
I just miss her, Barry. I just want her here with me.
I know, Al. I know. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna make it okay.
Yeah, that'll be upsetting as well. That would upset me too, actually, thinking about it. Open your eyes and boom, cardboard cutout of yourself.
Damn it.
I forgot this was not a cutscene. I'm gonna be real with you, chat. I forgot this was not a cutscene.
Alice, I'm coming. It's all right. I'm coming.
It was a crazy drunken dream, and yet it was more than that. It was the truth, a suppressed memory unearthed by the Andersons' moonshine. I was there, an out-of-body observer. This was the night Alice and I had arrived at Bright Falls, the night Alice had disappeared. I had a chance to find out what had happened. I remembered being surprised to see the cabin dark. Alice would have never turned the lights off.
Lore is happening. Please pay attention. There will be a quiz. There won't be a quiz. Don't worry about it.
Alice? Alice!
Hey, Harry. You're just in time for lore.
I remembered thinking I caught a glimpse of her form underwater, sinking into the darkness.
Woo!
Diving after her was the last vague memory I had of that night. After that, the next thing I could remember was waking up behind the wheel of the crashed car and finding the first pages of the manuscript. I couldn't find her in all that blackness. I must have thought she drowned.
You need a hand past self? Hey, Sita.
Jagger had Alice, and so she had me.
Alice!
I mean, I can give you a quiz if you want after this.
I'd been easy prey.
Look at the cabin. Is there someone in the window?
Alice?
Maybe she didn't drown after all. Maybe she's inside.
I mean, there isn't anyone at the window.
Yes.
There's the lodge. Too busy doing that instead of listening. Hey, that's fair. That's fair. Preparing for the quiz can sometimes make it impossible to do the quiz. I get it. We've all been there.
The dark presence had touched me. She had dug her nails into my brain and used me. Made me her puppet.
Some people pay for that.
She must be here somewhere. Maybe upstairs in the study.
Alice!
Yes, that's where she is. You can apologize.
Alice!
You'll laugh at the whole thing together and put it behind you.
Pop quiz. What's the name of the person the dark presence is impersonating? Full name. I would require a given and surname.
She's not here. You were foolish to think so.
This lady.
No, she's dead. She drowned.
No, no, no!
It's your fault your wife is dead. You are guilty. All she wanted was to help you right. You killed her. Oh, hush. There's still hope. Cauldron Lake is a special place. Here, you have the power to change things. She wanted you to write. I will tell you what to do.
Send this out to Luca Lake Lady?
You can write her back. The story will come true, and all will be well again.
Actually, Ari, this lake does have that kind of power.
She had Alice, and the manuscript was the ransom for her.
The dark presence is trapped beneath the lake.
Yes. All right. I'll fix it. I'll bring her back.
Me!
No. I wrote it. I remembered it all now. In the dark, I'd written for days, a week, almost a complete manuscript of a novel entitled Departure. Jagger had been my editor, whispering in my ear, making sure that the unfolding story would make her more and more powerful.
In Alan's defense, he's possessed, okay?
Even with the cobweb she put in my head, some part of me had been aware enough to write my escape into the story, to bring a light into the cabin to release me before I could finish, to interrupt the horror story before the ending, where darkness consumed everything and everyone. Zane was weak and far away, but I had written him into the story, and his light had been enough to set me free.
It isn't here now. I'm here because it was written. I brought the light to set you free. You must hurry. We'll know I'm here. It will be back soon. It stole the skin of my Barbara a long time ago. She looks so old.
I had woken up, confused and groggy, my mind consumed by darkness and fear. All I could do was to escape. The week spent in the cabin had taken its toll. I was barely conscious, and fading fast. It had to have cost Zane terribly, thrown him even deeper into whatever dark place he now haunted. But he had managed to weaken the dark presence, kept me safe that night. I wrote it. It's my fault.
That's right, James Joyce. It's your fault, and you're gonna pay for it.
What up, Agent Knighting asshole? I kind of want to let the music play out. But there's nothing to look at. It's literally just a cool song. Chat, do you want the song?
There's an altar road with mystery of Tom the poet and his muse, and a magic lake which gave a light to the words the poet used.
No, there's 6 episodes in this game.
Now the muse she was his happiness, and he rhymed about her grace, and told the stories of treasures deep beneath the blackened way.
Also, this song is kind of spoiling the plot. Well, it's not the plot, but the history of the game. Lore. There we go.
Previously on
Anyway, we're continuing. I decided.
Under the influence of the dark presence, I wrote a horror story that is coming true.
To sleep,
Jagger had
perchance
been my
to
editor, making sure that the unfolding story would make her more and more powerful. Some part of me had been aware enough to write my escape into the story.
Together we can create something absolutely wonderful.
The lake, it does something to the works of art created here. It makes them come true. My mom gave me this old light switch.
The clicker.
Alice is being kept in a dark prison. I need to find Cynthia Weaver to fix this.
It's your fault, and you're gonna pay for it.
Episode 5, The Clicker. Not The Last of Us enemy.
Well, we're expecting a record crowd from the neighboring counties. Naturally, we hope to break the record set by last year's Moose Fest in our neighboring town, Watery. Ladies and gentlemen, some people have asked me, what's the big deal about Deer Fest? And I think that this sums it up. It's about friendship and community. We've got a great party coming up, but let's try to hold it in until tomorrow and get through the night in one piece, all right?
Oh boy, Deerfest. Exactly.
I have it. Someone will come for it when the time is right. Thomas said so. He wrote it. The key is insurance. It's my job to keep it safe. Safe in the light. Always in the light.
Deerfest and Moosefest, how
All the
back
manuscript
country
pages
could
were
they make
gone.
this?
The FBI agent had taken them.
Exactly.
I think my tongue just took a crap in my mouth. Ugh.
Gah.
Oh, wait, we're in jail now? Al. Al, this is not good.
That about sums it up.
You good there, Barry?
Oh, I am never drinking again.
Probably shouldn't drink moonshine. Just a
We need
thought.
to talk to Weaver. She's the one in the song. The Lady of the Light.
What, the crazy lady? Ugh, whatever you say, Al, but we're stuck here. They're not gonna...
interviewed Wake.
I had some reading to do first, Sheriff, and let me tell you, it was an interesting read. Well, I've got you now, Raymond Chandler. It's all here. All the evidence, including conspiracy to murder a federal agent. There's no way you're walking out of here. You hear me in there, Bret Easton Ellis? Huh?
Agent Nightingale, I want to talk to your superior.
Well, we all want things, Sheriff. I wanted my... Look, that's not possible right now.
Agent Nightingale, I insist. Wake, what's wrong?
Lady, are you stupid? It's a trick. It's an obvious
Dude,
trick.
put the
I've had
gun
enough of
away.
this crap. Wake, I'm gonna trust you with this.
You're joking.
Agent Nightingale, your opinion would matter more if you were sober and if I actually believed you were here on official business.
Whoa! Get back in the cell, Stephen King. The only way you're leaving this place is over my dead...
Wait a minute. I know this.
Oh my god!
Yep, that's an appropriate reaction.
We need light. It's the only way to fight this thing.
In my office. I've got your things there. Follow me.
No, first.
Oh, man.
If anyone does want to listen to the song that was playing at the end of episode 4 and that I skipped through, The Old Gods of Asgard, The Poet and the Muse is the name of the song. Or is the band and the name of the song. It is on YouTube and Spotify, I believe.
Nightingale tried to make sense of the manuscript. It was disjointed and strange. He didn't understand half of it, but it all rang true. Impossibly true. He took out his hip flask when he reached the page that described how he reached the page that made him take out his hip flask. It wasn't the booze that made his mind reel.
They must have had so much fun writing this manuscript.
We're sitting ducks with the lights out.
Nightingale felt the situation veering out of his control, but the gun at least felt steady in his hands. He was ready to fire, resolved that he would let this happen over his dead body. And yet he hesitated. He had seen this moment before, read it in the page. He was transfixed by the deja vu and the horror that he was a character in a story someone had written. Then the monstrous presence burst in behind him and dragged him into the night.
Stay cool. I can get the emergency power on.
I also like how the game is a different sort of... I mean, I wouldn't call this a horror game, but it's a different genre of horror to the book that Alan wrote, which is pretty cool. Front office desk. But first, Flair. Once you get the gate open, first I'm taken on the road. From that point, take a right on the street. Look left. You see it. Adventure. Okay. Oh, guess we're not going that way. He doesn't like there's an NPC. You know, I wouldn't either. Also, what the heck is a tick festival in Stable Deus? And congratulations on your 5 points to Tet. Reliably informed all of those are unstable Deuses, but there we go. Very strange way to use a circuit breaker, but okay.
Here are your things. Wait, what do I need to know?
Is the Easter egg
what do you
here?
need from me?
They can be hurt in the light, only in the light. And I need to find Cynthia Weaver. She can help me stop this.
Light.
Okay.
Check. Cynthia. She lives in the old decommissioned power plant. I can get you there pretty quickly in the rescue chopper.
So the Easter egg's not here, so I will have to reload episode 2, sorry, at the end of the playthrough.
Come on, let's get back to your friend.
Do you mind if I just take the shot? No? Okay.
Wheeler, I need you to stay here.
What? No.
We're going to fetch our ride, but I have friends who need to be warned about this, and I can't be in 2 places at once. I need your help.
Well, okay.
Here's a list of people and phone numbers. I need you to call them and tell them you have a message from me. Night Springs, okay? They'll know what to do.
Night Springs? Like the TV show? Gotcha. Oh, hey, that radio guy is on the list. Maine. Who's Frank Breaker? He related to you?
My dad.
Hey, is this like a secret society?
Can you do this? You'll be safe here. The backup power's on. These guys need to be alerted, just in case we don't come back.
You'll come back for me though, right?
Look at the light.
As soon as we get the chopper ready. Thanks, Wheeler. I owe you one. Okay, let's go, Wake. Through the back.
What if something happens to the backup power?
You think there's any way I could order one out?
Probably not, Barry. Probably. Oh, do you actually call them?
Hello, Mr. Breaker. This is Barry Wheeler. Yeah, I know it's late, but listen, the sheriff, Sarah, asked me to tell you something. She says Night Springs, okay? So I guess she... Yes, sir. Okay, No, she's okay. She's just busy, so she asked me to... Oh, no. Actually, I'm a literary agent, sir. I'm just helping her out because she's busy right now. Well, the one you'd most likely be familiar with is Alan Wake. You're kidding. Well, I'm glad to hear that, sir. I'll tell Al you said that. That's really nice. But listen, I really need to make some more calls here. You got the message, right? Yeah, that's right. Okay, thanks, sir. Bye now. Hey, the sheriff's dad is a big fan, Al. Said you're the best thing to happen to crime fiction since James Elroy.
Yes.
I think he was a little drunk, though.
You have to hit me with that insult afterwards, Barry? That's what I think of that.
Hello? This is Barry Wheeler. I'm calling on behalf of the sheriff. Sarah says Night Springs. Okay? Okay, bye.
I think that's it. I think it's just the same voice line now.
Hello? Hi, Barry Wheeler. I have a message from Sarah. Night Springs. Okay? Bye now. Hello, ma'am. Sorry to bother you. Barry Wheeler calling for Sheriff Breaker. She asked me to tell you... Wheeler? Ma'am, she asked me to... No, I'm... Yes, but the sheriff asked me to...
Don't mind me, Sheriff.
Yeah, I think this is gonna take a while, Al. You better get going.
Game, I pick it up what you're putting down.
Yeah, but...
Or am I?
No, wait. Ma'am, please, But the sheriff... But ma'am, I'm supposed to... just hear me. But I... But she said... Ma'am, I'm... Yeah, but... No, wait. Ma'am, please,
I think it's on the loop.
The sheriff. But ma'am, I'm supposed to...
Yeah, I'm just gonna go.
Ma'am, just hear me.
Oh, hell. Whatever took Nightingale must have broken the gate controls. We can't reach the gate's control box from here. We need to get to the other side over the rooftop.
I'll go. I'll open the gate for you once I'm across. You stay here in the light and cover me, Sheriff, okay?
Are you sure? Okay then, but hurry.
I wouldn't say it if I weren't sure, Sheriff. All things considered. Can hear Barry still.
I needed to reach the rooftop to get to the other side of the broken gate.
Oh. Oh dear. I don't know what I just took damage from. Oh, there's darkness on the floor. Never mind. I don't need batteries that badly. Ladder damage, yeah. Honestly, I'm surprised that's not a thing in the Dark Souls games. I don't need to do this, I just am. In light, you can hurt them. So, chat, I know I've been asking this a fair amount, but are you enjoying one of my favourite games? I hate the gameplay, it's tedious in places, but the game, like the story, the writing, so good. More bird murder. I mean, I know it's a murder of crows. I didn't realise it was murder crows. So those gone. Those gone. Burbs. Burbs indeed. The burbs, kind of annoying, not gonna lie. I like burbs, but not those burbs. Hoot.
Hey, Sheriff! Your password. Night Springs? What's that all about?
It's a stupid joke we have. That Bright Falls is the original inspiration for the TV show. This town can get weird at times. Never this weird, though. We need to bypass the damaged control box.
What am I, an electrician? Hold on!
You know what? I'm just gonna grab this first. That's room bird. Murder of murderous crows? Ooh, I like it.
Oh! Ow, damn! That's smart.
Good job, Wade. Okay, stick close. Our first stop is the town hall. The keys to the chopper are there.
Okay.
Wake, over there!
Sheriff, please tell me you've got... Oh! Oh, yee. Look at that. Look at that swift dodge. Peace out, my dude. I'm doing what I can to, you know, help get rid of the darkness so she can actually kill them. Sheriff, if you could... Thank you. Anything over here? Flare! Oh, I'm supposed to follow her. My objective is to follow her, but she's the one following me, so I'm really confused right now about who's following whom. I assume we go this way because they broke the path open, but... I need to go to the right for a thermos.
Look out!
Oh dear! Man, that joke was better the second time. Keep going down the road to the left of the gate at the end. Okay.
Over here, Wake! The chopper's in the other direction!
I have 6 flares. Sheriff, could you shoot? Oh, hey.
Oh, no you don't!
Auto aim too strong. Anyway, turn around and continue on the main path. Head to the cannery to the right, which has a supply chest in it. No, that is everything, yes. Remember this, chat? This is where I was in episode 1. It's the ferry port terminal. I know words. I need to go in the diner as well. Paint jobs! Garage! Went too far. Alright, it's all yours, Sheriff.
The air smelled of fish. This was Bright Falls industrial area. There was probably a cannery nearby.
There was probably a cannery near... No, you know, I don't see a cannery nearby. Sheriff, really? Oh, brutal. Absolutely brutal.
Fishing can be a hobby for
I don't know where the sheriff's gone. The one downside I have with this game, or the one thing I'd say like maybe they could change in the game, is a melee option. Okay, it's not that door. Because it's really weird that I'm carrying like really heavy duty torches on occasion and weapons and stuff, and I can't just use them with a melee attack to knock things backwards. Okay, I have 7 flares. Heck yes. Okay, now another achievement. Theoretically, another achievement. This may be a rare achievement, so be warned if you're using headphones like I am. God, I just love how the light changes. You know, how the torch beam changes. Based on the angle it hits the ground and how far away. Where's the sheriff? Oh, she's there. The jukebox has some collectibles in it. Sorry, the diner has collectibles in it. I mean, I have to go through it anyway, so. I think it's more just saying, hey, go get the achievement first. 68th annual Deer Fest in 1 days. Yes. Thank you.
I'm gonna want explanations, you know. For example, what the hell happened to Rose? She's seriously messed up now.
The same thing I think happened to me after I arrived.
During this week, you can't remember?
Oh, I remember now.
You put the lime in the coconut twice. Anyway, that's the achievement. Thermos on the floor in the middle. Go to the bathroom area. I do actually like that song. I'm happy it's in this game. Spooky bucket!
Barry was in his element, making calls, making things happen, even if he didn't entirely know what those things were. He wouldn't let the hot sheriff chick down. Even if every noise he heard from outside, and he heard plenty, made him jump. He had only paused to text Al a message, told him to hurry up. Suddenly, Barry froze in mid-dial. A window broke somewhere in the building, and then the lights went out.
No, Barry! The lights went out in here as well, because the torch was in the wall. I mean, don't I have to go through there? Hey, haven't sent follow-up emails? Oh god, you know what? I'm there with you. Follow. Bathroom area. Car alarm on the road. Hot dog stand with the can pyramid on top. What was your plan?
New Yorkers were rude.
Oh, just dragging New Yorkers. I just feel like I'm bothering the person. Oh yeah, I absolutely know that feeling. Wow, Alan, wow. Ari Babel, not happy with Alan Wake right now.
You have the right to remain
Far enough!
Stream stop. I've seen a spooky bucket, so for me it really was very spooky. Hey, that's fair. Hey, Sheriff, could you shoot the man, please? We're not rude, we just don't want to deal with other people's bullshit. That's fair. You're in the wrong profession if you don't want to do that, Harry. New York, the only city in the world with no therapists. No one wants to deal with anyone else's bullshit. There's the checkpoint. That should be can Pyramid 9 of 12? Yes. Go me. I can follow a guide successfully. Continue down the main road, you'll see a Deerfest banner. It's under the banner on the left. Mental health is not bullshit. That's true. It isn't. But it can bullshit can cause poor mental health. Unfortunately. Oh, hey, if you like this area, by the way, we'll be coming back to it in DLC. If I recall correctly. Hot dog, hamburger, fries, and nachos. I want all of those right now. Oh, I'm hungry, chat. Anyway, what am I doing? It's a Deerfest banner.
Wait, over here! There's light!
I know, but there's a collectible over here. So, guess where I'm going? Sheriff Breaker. Flare gun ammo. Okay, I'm out of batteries. That's that one. After Sarah is trying to unlock a wooden gate, fend off the ambush. Okay. So on the other side of the gate.
I have a key. Watch my back, Wade.
Oh, so she's not trying to break through, she's just trying to find the right key.
It's an ambush.
Are you a brute? I think that's close enough. To the back one, at least. Yeah. It's gonna shoot a couple of people to speed things up. You have a chainsaw, I have a flare gun. Let's see which is mighty. I missed. Oh no, it bounced off. He's not wrong, chainsaws are noisy. Oh wait, providing you a new reality every day of the week. So this game clearly shows its age, and some of these action sections aren't particularly needed. But they do, to your left. There is a good flow to the combat in most sections. It just doesn't always feel needed, if that makes sense. Like, some of it just feels like it's there to be there. Inside the mayor's office in the main room is the podium. Am I making sense, chat? I don't know if I'm making sense. This game's from 2010, so I should just be happy it's not brown.
Okay, someone's messed with the fuse box here, but you should be able to jury rig it while I find the keys.
I already got electrocuted once today. How about I look for the keys and you get burned for a change?
Fine. They should be in the clerk's office on the other side of the building, near the main entrance.
Gotcha.
The darkness that wore Barbara Jagger's face was furious. The story in the manuscript had been making it stronger all the time, but now the light had set the writer free and hurt it, weakened it. It was only a matter of days before the dark presence would be strong again. But meanwhile, it would be difficult to recapture the writer.
Yeah, because it doesn't want to get captured, which I feel is perfectly fair, all things considered.
The keys aren't upstairs, Wake.
No, but collectibles
I'm just gonna
are.
take a quick look.
Freedom. A fusion of vigilance, conscience, and uncompromising clarity of vision. A need so fundamental, it permeates our very being. And yet, a man may be brought to his knees in a single heartbeat. In Night Springs. Tonight's episode, Taken in His Prime. For young Manny, the night hasn't been kind. He's a marked man, selected for a lifetime of servitude after answering an ad in the newspaper. But first, a little field surgery is required.
Well, well, look what I found. Ah, please, no! Yeah, I think you're just about ready for it.
Best if you don't resist this, kid. We gotta beat it out of you.
What? I don't understand. What did I do? I just wanted to get a job in the service industry. Wow, you're gonna serve all right. No! Ah! Ah! Please! Ah!
There it is. It's coming out now. Right between the self-esteem and the childhood traumas.
What are you doing to me? It's Foreman. There, I got it. Believe me, kid, this free will thing is more trouble than it's worth.
What was that? Oh, nothing for you to worry about, Manny.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
We'll tell you all about that. Don't you worry.
Another vacant worker ant, birthed in fury and violence for the pleasure and convenience of ruthless and malicious men. Stranger things can happen in Night Springs.
And if that isn't an accurate representation and or portrayal of capitalism, I don't know what is. I also don't know why I went falsetto then, so I apologise if anyone has a dog whose ears have just pricked up. Spooky! Spooky fan! Okay, that one got me, I'll admit. That one made me jump. That was a good jump scare. Maybe it is a horror game. It suited the statement. It did. Moving on. As you continue your main objective, burst through a door to attack you. Go inside. Okay. Kind of wonder why the... No, Barry's text!
The message was from Barry. He was getting worried at the station. He wanted us to hurry.
No! Barry! Shinji suits that statement. Oh, Shinji, forever in our hearts. I'll just use a shotgun. Save the flare. I could take the hunting rifle, or I could keep the shot. Oh, actually. Kind of running low. Sure, why not? There it is. I mean, I assume she's turned the power on. The mayor's office just habitually has flashbangs, I assume.
Okay, Sheriff. I
don't know how these things work in America.
Barry?
Why isn't he inside?
Oh god! Oh god!
Because it's being chased by the dark presence.
Barry! Look out! Barry, move! Barry!
He made it inside, Wake. He's okay.
For now. Oh, congrats.
Front's blocked. Come on, Wake. Let's go around.
Congrats on your points, Byron. I need to read a plaque. Oh. Beneath the big statue. But first... Actually, I can't carry more flares. So I think I'm okay to not look around. Park entrance. Is that really a thing that Okay. Not really needed. It's pretty obvious what it is. It's not recorded when Bright Falls was first formed as a nameless trading post, but it became a town when the Bright Falls Mining Company started to operate nearby in 1878. It was then that Hubert Biltmore, a fur trapper, and Amos Gunderson, a pioneer from Tacoma, decided to build a post office, saloon, and hotel, all operating from the same building. It was through the efforts of these two men that Bright Falls became the permanent and thriving town it is today. Hey, Sheriff.
Look out! Over there!
It's getting ready to toss the bus. Hey-oh! Satet has jokes. Yeah, please do. Oh. Oh. Aloys looks so brutal. Sure, I could have used a flare gun shot there, I guess. Never mind.
We can make it through the bookstore. Wheeler should be waiting for us in the backyard.
Keep the hell down or I'll call the sheriff.
She's the sheriff.
Oh, hi, Doc. I've got it. Don't worry about it.
Sarah, about time somebody showed up. All this shooting in the air is idiotic. One of these days they'll kill somebody. And over Deerfest.
I know. Go back to bed. He's got a point, Wake. Look, this town can't take this.
I guess the doctor isn't in on the Night Springs thing. Hey, it's me. Yeah, I guess he isn't in on the Night Springs code word. I think it's stuff upstairs. Bargain books. Choose and contemplate. Believe in change. What am I looking for? Inside the bookstore, look to your right by the desk. Read the paper on the wall. Alex Casey books by Alan Wake, modern master of crime fiction. Alex Casey, What I Can't Forget, Return to Sender, The Things That I Want, The Fall of Casey, and The Sudden Stop. All in stock, $20 a book, $100 for the full set. Is that expensive for a book? Mr. Wake is in town. See if you can get them autographed. You're also getting a free book there, which is always a good deal.
They're really taking advantage of your presence here, Wake. I heard they're selling a lot of your Alex Casey books.
Right now, I'm not a big fan of my own writing.
For a paperback, maybe? Yeah, that's what I figured. I mean, that's about the price we'd pay for a hardcover book.
Cynthia Weaver worked hard, following her obsessive rituals, sometimes fighting them, always giving in to them in the end. She haunted the halls of Bright Falls' abandoned power plant. She marked her caches with light-sensitive paint that could only be seen by eyes that had been touched by darkness and saved by light like she'd been. She was preparing defenses and supply lines for the war she knew would come. The war between the forces of light and darkness.
She's the one that's been leaving the caches around, chat. It was Cynthia Weaver all along. Black Lace, White Lies. I'd read that book. The Human Island. Conspiracy of Faith. I will say, we are nearing the end of the game. This is episode 5 of 6. There are 2 DLC episodes, but still. Still haven't really made any progress towards the secret goal for me to play Quantum Break again, so probably not going to be doing that. Good Father, Bad Father, Medicated to Hate, Getting Out, Getting Even, Getting Paid, Say It With Your Eyes Only, The Newton Principle, Mom's Survival Guide. Sorry, Conspiracy of Faith. I love reading fake book titles. That's just me. maybe. I don't know. Look left.
I don't see Barry.
Look, Wake. Maybe that's him. That's the way to the chopper.
Oh, I've maxed out flare gun rounds. Good to know. Okay. Spooky wagon. The sheriff's not going to talk about that moving by itself. Childish, innocent fun. Anyway. This isn't a thing in British playgrounds, by the way, the sandbox. It seems really unhygienic, if I'm being honest. Whoa! Whoa, this is fast. Big litter tray? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You mean the raccoon litter box? Clearly. I read this before things happen. Church events full schedule. Sunday school, Sundays. Bible study, Mondays. Bright Falls Knitting Club meetings, alternate Wednesday evenings. Deerfest Candle Night, September 14th. Deerfest Morning Service, September 15th. The Presbyterian Choir of Watery Visit, September 28th. Annual Charity Bake Sale, October 3rd. It's not a thing you've never seen in a park IRL. Okay. Well, there's that, at least. Clearly there's a fight going down, so I'm just going to grab all the supplies now that I can carry. The next thing is in the church, so this is just me looking for supplies. Oh no. No, this is the next thing. I found it without the guide, chat.
Barry got back to his feet inside the Bright Falls General Store and dusted himself off. Right next to the cans of baked beans was a locked case filled with flare guns, and yet here was a conveniently placed barrel of crowbars. Barry's smile widened as he realized that this was the classic movie scene where the hero had to gear up and arm himself to the teeth. Barry threw himself into the role.
Barry knows what's up. Is Barry going to be the hero that we all need? I guess that's the helicopter up there. Okay, so for ammunition and stuff, there's only one emergency box, and it's at the other end of the area. Oh, hang on. Just double check. I'm where I should be. 77 thermoses. 17 signs. Yep. 79 manuscript pages. Yes. Oh, you know what? Because I'm pretty sure a fight's going to happen. Flagon.
I'm gonna give Pastor Howard a piece of my mind about this lock. Ugh, I told him to get it fixed.
Here they come.
Labor. Let's take a break.
Okay. I missed, but it still worked out. And there's a flare gun here.
Omega-3 fatty acids are good for your heart.
Oh, okay, right, we'll drop this. Do that. That's the boss dead. Oh, he's also a boss. Let's just drop that there. Or a mini boss, I guess. I like how they have a shadow. I survived the assault. We're all good.
Okay, it's open. Let's go, Wake.
Security notice. Concealed firearms are prohibited in this facility. It's a church, not a facility. But I'm openly carrying, so I think it's okay.
Wow.
We keep them lit all night long on the night before Deerfest.
Why?
Well, it's tradition.
Where's Dolly at feet 69?
For it to be free, the Dark Presence needed the writer to finish the story. Again and again, the story let it get frustratingly close to the writer without letting it capture him. It was bound by the events depicted in the manuscript, but it could pursue the writer indirectly, put others on the task, and stop those who would help him. It took over everything in its path, made them its puppets, and sent them after Alan Wake.
Before I follow the sheriff, I have to go to the basement next. I assume that's through the door past the sheriff. I keep getting Steam notifications because I have to have Steam open for stream avatars, and I'm like, oh god, something's going wrong with OBS again. Going to the basement, backmost left.
We're almost there. We'll have to go through the basement to get to the parking lot.
Yeah, there's no way going through the crypt will turn out to be a bad idea.
You know what? I've got it. Might as well use it.
You have the right to remain silent.
Outside of the church, head to a bunch of stairs going straight up the hill. Into the last set, keep going straight and find a picnic table. Okay, I think I'm good. That's where I came in. I thought I saw something shining, but I think it was the torch doing that thing where it reflects off of a surface again.
Did you call 911?
Guess that one saw the light, huh?
Oh, Barry.
You didn't like that one? A tough audience. Well, I got plenty more.
What are the Christmas lights for?
Protection, man. Like garlic against vampires.
No, makes sense.
The helicopter's just across the parking lot and up the hill. Come on.
Stop yucking Barry's yum, Alan. He's trying, okay? It's his turn to be the hero. I hope they find that cat. Okay, so let's just keep going up here. And then look for a picnic bench.
The Bright Falls General Store is now my favorite place in the entire world. See this headlamp? It's like a superpower. I can just look at one of those things and they die. It's my flaming eye of Mordor. I wish I didn't say that.
Well, you did. You can't take that back.
Headlamp. Last one.
Oh, hydrate, you're right, I should. I like how the branding for Alan Wake Remastered extends to the pause menu. Hey chat, I forgot what game I was playing. Oh, no, never mind. It told me.
Bastard. Alice had screamed until she had no voice left to scream. Around her, the darkness was alive. It was cold and wet and malevolent and without end. She was a prisoner, trapped in the dark place. The terror would have burned her mind out, but one thing made her hang on. She could sense Alan in the dark. She could hear him. She could see the words he was writing as flickering shadows. He sensed her too. He was trying to work his way to her.
Yep. Clearly am. Also, this view is pretty good. Be a nice spot to have lunch. It's almost as if that's what this is here for. The only thing that puts me off of living in a place like this is just how everyone knows everyone else's business. I mean, yes, I stream and like I talk about my life and my worries and my anxieties and stuff because I try to be visible about gender and mental health and sexuality stuff, but I don't know, just everyone knowing everyone else's business and the deer thing. It's a bit of a deterrent. Look to the left of a bench just before the helicopter for the last collectible of this section. Oh, hang on. Actually, I remember this vaguely. Pretty sure there's an ambush.
When someone throws a damn school bus at your head and you're about to take a helicopter ride with someone who may or may not have a pilot's license, you're cleared for departure to Night Springs.
I like it.
No offense, Sheriff.
I like it, Barry. I like it. Small towns have their own politics. Yeah, I can imagine. Although the politics of the city where I live aren't great, I'll be honest. They did a public consultation about our mayoralty and how the council should be led. And the party that's in charge of the council picked the least favourite option to vote for. Hey, Sheriff, could you... Much obliged. Where was it? On a bench just before the helipad. Actually, that's a good point. I can just... Should get both of them. Yeah.
Oh, I'm never gonna get used to this.
No, you know what? I don't trust it. How am I doing, chat? Am I looking vaguely like a pro gamer? Do I look like I know what I'm doing? Because I don't. I'm making it up as I go along.
The helicopter's just up ahead. I'll need a while to prep for takeoff.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I need
Take too long. I want to get out of here.
the bench. Ah, there it is. Okay. I have traps. Vaguely like the epitome of a pro gamer. Thank you, I'll take it. It helps that I've played the game before. And I know how the combat works. Okay, I'm full on everything else. Can't go in there. That's the last collectible of the chapter of the section I'm in. Oh, flashbang. Gee, that's subtle.
You will never get her back.
What a jump scare that was.
Well, get ready. I'll hold them off.
And you. I missed. I know I get compliments about looking like a pro gamer and I immediately miss with auto aim. Could you stop throwing girders at me, please, Dark Presence? There was a... Yes. Nope, just batteries. Dang it. Did I pick up the... That works for that. You know what? Yeah, no, that's fine. Skip away. All time's a hindrance for pro gamers. It actually is, though, because sometimes it'll aim at stuff I don't want to aim at. None of you are clustered close enough. Drop that for health more than anything. No, it's fine. I can, I can wait. It's not like anyone's trying to kill me or anything. Reload. Oh, hello. Fuck you. That was a waste. That was far tenser than it needed to be.
Wake, you better put an end to this.
Just get me to Weaver, Sheriff.
You're taking a big chance on a local crazy lady, Al. I hope you're right about her, or we can kiss this town goodbye.
Should be an achievement pop. An idyllic small town.
Situations like this.
Right. The city's a war zone. King Kong, mutant alligators, and Alex Casey shoots the place up every weekend. Look, I never even carried a gun until a couple of days ago.
Well, my dad used to be a cop there. Tells some pretty wild stories.
Stuff like this?
No, just normal bad stuff. Kind of like your books, Wake. I used to tease Dad that he was just like Alex Casey.
You've read me.
Oh, sure. You're a pretty good writer. A little heavy on the metaphors, maybe.
Nobody's ever said that before.
We're coming up on the power plant. See the lit building over there? And that's the dam further up the river. I can't land here. I'll take her down the road across the river.
Just get me there, Sheriff.
Just get me close enough and push me out. Only pro gamers get their achievements. It's true. It's true. Well, that seems like a good enough place to pause so I can take my wellness break. Yeah, I guess if you're watching this, that fall did look ouchy. You're not wrong, Harry. I guess if you're watching this on YouTube, I kind of should point out the last episode, the last stream is up in its entirety because when my computer crashed, when OBS crashed more accurately, like halfway through the stream, the recording corrupted, so I just had to download the stream and then I just uploaded it as well as is because I didn't really have the time to edit it down, so that's why that's like that. So I'm just going to take my wellness break. YouTube, all things considered, it should just be like a jump cut, but we'll find out. And jump cut, yeah. Anyway, cutscene will end. You'll be rushed by some birds. From where you start, look to your right. Follow the fence to the thermos.
Wait, we're gonna have to shake these things. I'll meet up at the plants.
Oh, I see it. Over here. I've lost my heavy-duty torch. And all of my flares. And all of the other ammunition I had saved. Curses! Inside the building, you have to jump up and over to the other side of the fence. At the far back, you'll find the thermos. Goodbye. Yep, I have a torch, and that's it. Okay. We're back to the vaguely spooky survival horror side of things. I'm almost certainly missing a thing. Aha.
I had to do something about the chain for the door to open.
I wonder what, chat, I wonder what. Could I introduce it to my revolver? Okay, well, I was, you know, I thought I'd go back and top up. Woo! That was maybe a mistake. That was absolutely a mistake. Yep, okay. Shoot it and then immediately go inside. Do I need to get the thermos again? No, okay. Yeah, chat, if you're playing this yourself, do not do what I just did. It's not worth it. Again, this is the situation where I feel like a melee weapon would be good. Any melee combat with a flare? Yeah. I mean, I don't have any flares, but some kind of melee option. Would be, would be good. Please note that the hitbox is... Okay, well, I figured I could get under the door at that point, but clearly not. Clearly I'm supposed to hold out until they, until the door's fully open. Again, this is one of those things where it kind of just feels like they put this in the game because they felt like something had to be here. The van did not like that. Right. Guy. There we go. Yeah, I mean, you could just use the torch as a melee weapon. I don't understand why there isn't a shove option at the very least to create space. All I have is the dodge. Okay. I like how they use actual lights to show you what like points of interest. Also, particularly as they then just give you loads of stuff. It's like, why bother taking my guns away at all?
And here's a new song from a band that they always remind me of our local rock legends, the Old Gods. I couldn't tell you why. I guess it's just, you know, one of those things. Anyway, here's Poets of the Fall and their latest single, War.
Oh, this song is so good. Actually, real talk. Well, if this song wasn't written for this game, unlike the Old Gods of Asgard songs. But the music video is like, it is literally an Alan Wake music video, complete with manuscript pages. Alan's the actual actor. We're going to listen to a bit of the song though. Gonna get to the chorus. Anyway, that's the copyright claim. I didn't do what I thought it would. Wow, the explosion actually killed the brute. Cool. What is your plan? There's the thermos. Are we good? No, I thought there was one left. How did you survive? I guess because you have no darkness? I don't know. Anyway, this video is not making money on YouTube, but that song is so good. Also, if you haven't figured it out by now, they remind him of the Old Gods of Asgard, because it's the same band. And they are one of my favourite bands of all time. Poets of the Fall. Right after you land, head left for a supply chest. Okay. Just make sure everything's reloaded before going out into the bad place. Also known as the outside. But yeah, seriously, listen to War. If you don't listen to any of their other songs, sorry, War is a good place to start.
The power plant glowed in the night. It was close, but I had to find a way across.
It was left, I think. Yes. I'm trying to show you where all where the paint is, so that, you know, if you are a visual learner and you do want to play this game, you'll be like, oh, I remember this area. There's an arrow over here. Go down some steps to Safe Haven Light. Run up the next steps. Go through a bar-type gate. Go left and left. Okay, cool. Sure, I'll remember all of that. You have to say beep, otherwise it doesn't open. I need some space. There we go. It's not just a typewriter brand. Defeat 50 taken with a shotgun. Ah, ye. Okay, so I assume it's these steps that it's on about, because that will kill me. Oh, hang on. Now I get the checkpoint. Yeah. Now I don't have to pick up the stuff every time. Go through a bar-type gate, go left, and then left again, just to loop back to where I was. Because I could see the page, obviously, it's just behind the... Oh, come on, get closer. That was rude. Just check there was no one back there before I pick this up.
Making her way through the water pipe alone, Cynthia was angry at the writer. Foolish young man, taking unnecessary risks. And the way he broke the rules. Didn't he understand what was at stake? Since the terrible days in the 70s, she hadn't wavered once, as hard as it had been. She was tired of protecting the town all these long years, and now only wanted to rest.
To go through a center section with a bunch of generators and wires, you'll be attacked by 2 big taken as you go down this little stairs veer to your right. Cynthia's just not happy with Alan, is the thing to take away from this. Oh. I assume this area. I've got 1 flare gun shot left. That... Ah, it didn't work. Never mind. The 6 gun scribe. Defeat 100 taken with a revolver. Okay, so I guess there's one for the hunting rifle as well. I just need the hunting rifle. Okay, so the next one is up there. Just checking for a flare or anything. Of course, the good thing about doing this again is, one, I'm just enjoying playing one of my favourite games again. And two, much like with RE2 and RE3, if I want to play it again, I don't have to go through all the collectibles. I can just enjoy the game.
The story I had written in the cabin had come true. Touched by the dark presence, I had written a horror story. But the end was still missing. The story was incomplete, and the last unfinished page of the manuscript still sat in the typewriter in the cabin study. If I could get back there, if I could read the page, then I could write my own ending to this story and save Alice.
What do you reckon, chat? Is it going to save Alice? Make your predictions now. I mean, you don't ever need to focus on the Ari. Oh, whoops. Ari. The collectibles are tracked on a screen I can check at any point. I need to get them for the lizard brain to shut up. The alarm clock standees and video games are DLC collectibles. And as I said at the start, I won't be able to get all of the manuscript pages in one playthrough because some of them are behind a difficulty gate. I think it's like 15 of the pages you have to get on Nightmare difficulty, which you can't do from first playthrough. And as I said, a lot of the Nightmare difficulty playthrough will simply be just me running from checkpoint to checkpoint. Yeah, the control room. I assume this. Going to check see if there's anything on the road behind any of these cars that I can use. Although, I mean, as you've seen, like I'm only playing on normal, admittedly, but unless they mix up resources or just drastically increase enemy health, which I really hope they don't, because I hate bullet sponges. That was a good one. I appreciate that. Right, while I was talking, it shouldn't be too hard. To do it, but particularly as I'm not focusing on the collectibles, it'll be in some respects easier. Can you imagine if they pulled that in Silent Hill? You just get to the control room and there's like a grey child just chilling waiting for you. The Lieutenant William T.G. Randall Memorial Bridge. This bridge has been designated as a memorial in honor of, and in recognition of Lieutenant William T.G. Randall, 1919 to 1981, World War II POW and recipient of the Distinguished Service Cross. He died of injuries received during his successful rescue of 2 children from a burning car crashed at this location. Oh, and that was a timed thing, and I was reading the collectible. Okay, well. Looking for my daughter, have you seen her? And it just goes in for that. It goes in for the hug. I need to deal with the control room. Really, Dark Presence? You're gonna do this to me? There we go. I assume that this is why there's a flare gun in the. Yeah, I assume this is why there's a flare gun in the control room. Made it. I used that flare more to regenerate health than anything, because I think they regenerate health as well. That is making my eyes feel very strange, actually, being in the stationary control room while the bridge spins. I'm just gonna not look. Oh, hey, TV. You look at the TV instead.
Are we men dreaming of being butterflies, or butterflies that dream of being men? Such philosophical concerns are by necessity abstract. And yet, some of us can find concrete proof of the nature of our existence in Night Springs. Tonight's episode, an absence of creativity.
It's my content.
Hello, Martha. What did you want to show me? Oh, Lydia. Thank God you're here. Please, it's in the basement.
Cell phone? Yeah, the channel's full of them.
That's amazing. Isn't it just? I found it here this morning. It's like it isn't there, but I can't look straight at it.
Yes, I'm sorry about that.
How did you get here?
Well, I'm trying to work.
Did you put this thing here?
In a way. To be more precise, I put everything here but that.
Really? But what is it?
Oh, I guess guess the temptation is to call it a hole, but it's really an absence, a profound lack of reality.
In Martha's basement?
Yes, I was doing so well, too. I came up with 2 old ladies and put something really weird in the basement. It was a great start, but I'm completely blocked now. I can't imagine what I was up to.
Well, surely it's just an ordinary basement.
Is it? Why did you call your friend here, then?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, well.
Couldn't you just ignore it?
Oh, no, I couldn't do that. It would probably turn into a plot hole. Might be one already. Could sink the whole enterprise.
Oh, my.
Listen, ladies, not to be rude, but I'm really not at all sure where I'm going with this, and you're just not helping. You should just go back upstairs for a cup of coffee while I try to figure out what I'm up to.
Well, if you think that's best.
Maybe I should just stop here. Or is that too moronic?
Is that too moronic? Indeed. Who can tell? It's a fine line between the stupid and the sublime.
At twitch.tv/ComradeBubbles. Also, thank you for making the plot hole joke so I didn't have to, game. There's a supply chest after the helicopter. Okay. I've got everything right, yeah. Unfortunately, chat. Yeah, unfortunately, chat. That's episode 13 of 14, so we're nearly out of Night Springs until Alan Wake's American Nightmare. Okay, I don't know what I was doing there, I'll be honest. I'm just gonna swap to the flare gun and shoot them. I was expecting the light to do more, if I'm being honest. Oh, I missed. Auto aim, why did you do that? Why did you fail me? Auto aim keeps failing me because there's too much going on. Maybe I should just use the flashbang, but I've only got one flashbang is the issue. I'm just trying to cluster them up so that, you know, I can then kill all of them with one flare. That'll work. I like how Alan actually does reach into his pocket as well to reload his weapons. Oh, there's a checkpoint right there. Cool, cool. Thought I had the flare gun out. Okay, he's staggered. After auto aim had locked on. That's what happened there. Okay, that wasn't reloaded, that was on me. Could you please stop throwing shit at me? You're not a monkey, my friend. I should probably just stand here until I get all my health back, actually. Make sure everything is reloaded. I'm bored. Moving on. The chest is in the right corner of the building you're facing. Ah, there it is. Oh, there's your arrow, chat. Okay, around the building, in the parking lot, to the very left corner. In front of a shed. As another kind of indication. And there's an arrow for you. Take the checkpoint. And the flare. Oh, right, it's a dam. I was like, what is this building? And then I remembered that it's a dam. So I assume it's a hydroelectric power plant. Actually, if you could all... kind of just give me a moment to breathe.
I recognized the logo on the power plant sign. I'd seen a version of it painted all over the area, signifying hidden caches of supplies.
Ah. Oh. Warning sign to the right of the big doors of the building. Warning! This decommissioned site is private property. The power plant is no longer in operation. Trespassers will be prosecuted. Survivors will be prosecuted again. Do you like what they did there? That was a humorous remix of a classic sign. Safe haven. Safe haven. Oh, that's a quite good touch actually, because you can't get down there as far as I know.
Hold it right there! Miss Weaver! Cynthia! I'm a friend!
Prove it!
You knew Zane! Thomas Zane! You're the Lady of the Light in the song! You can help me!
About time! Young man, I've been waiting a very long time for you.
I'll be honest, I thought that cutscene would be longer. I've got the sign. Run to the center room and look on the ground to the right. I like how we can just see the paint now because we're in a lit up area.
Well-lit room.
Excuse me?
What you'll need to drive the darkness back. The well-lit room is at the dam. I built the room to keep it safe.
Will it help me find Alice? Will it get me back to the cabin? Fine, let's go. I can get my friends to come back with the helicopter.
Oh, we won't go outside. Never at night. That's rule number 1. You've been breaking the rules, young man, and where has that gotten us, Oh, I have a secret route, a lit route, an old water pipe. Something was damaged at the transformer yard. It's drained all the reserve power. Without it, the pipe will go dark. The power to the yard must be cut.
Let me guess. You want me to do it?
Young man, you're the one who likes to break the rules. I can't be outside in the dark. Kill switch is outside.
Guess I'm breaking the rules again, chat. Alan Wake, notorious rule breaker. I assume this is where she sleeps. I've got that one. Your next objective is to go to the power switch. The next collectible is to the right of the power switch.
I have been preparing for these times, the dark tides. You have found my caches, haven't you? You can see the signs. Very few people can. Yes, please, take what you need. This is all for you, for the likes of us. We do Tom's work, don't we?
Hurry! The switch is on the wall facing the shore.
I've already taken what I need, don't worry. Oh, is it through here now? Yeah, it is. Cool. Wait, no, this is the platforming bit. Ah, you weren't close enough. Darkness waits in my dreams.
Weaver had sent me to cut the power to the transformer yard. I was willing to do grunt work for her to get her to help me. I hoped Weaver was dependable. I'd stumbled into this crazy world a little over a week ago. She had been living this insanity for decades.
Rule number 1. Never go out at night. Wouldn't it make more sense to nail it up on the inside? You know what? Never mind. She's clearly dealing with her own problems.
I could see the kill switch that would cut the power to the transformer yard. Now I had to find a way to reach it.
Right, so I think the speedrun, you don't do the whole puzzle, you do like 2/3 of it and then just jump the rest. I'm gonna read this.
If I could figure out the gates, I could use them to get to the kill switch.
Floodgate controls to be operated by authorized personnel only. That's not the one I wanted to do. Yeah, because I need to get across because I can't go through that gate. What a puzzle. Rule 2, keep the lights on. Do I go for the swag shot? Of course I do. Heck yeah. Okay, the manuscript's after the next collectible is after the next cutscene. Oh, now I've got some shotgun ammo again.
Who designs these things?
I tried to beat the cycle. Gravity beat me instead.
Who designs these things?
Nope. You know what? I'll just get over there and wait. That's fine. That's fine.
Who designs these things?
I immediately forgot what I was going to do. I'll be honest. I was like, I can do it. I can beat the cycle. No, I can't. Not like this. Not right now. Just gonna run across this, and we're gonna wait. As tempting as it looks, just gonna wait.
The transformer yard went dark and dead. Weaver's water pipe passage should now be good to go.
You know, just got to get back into the power plant itself. Okay. I played Resident Evil. The chainsaw's never a good sound. Cool, that didn't work. That did. Gotta stop using shotguns at range. In this game, anyway. Shotguns have variable range depending on what game you're playing. I came back.
This way, young man. Follow me. Come, come. The pipe's empty now. We're ready to go.
Okay. Don't have to tell me twice.
We need to go. I knew them both, Tom and Barbara. I had such a crush on him. Such a beautiful man.
Change the bulbs.
I was jealous. There was a part of me that was maybe a little glad when she had the accident. And then Tom started writing and woke the darkness up. He tried to bring her back, but you can't do that. There are no free rides like that.
I'm starting to realize that.
In that case, young man, perhaps you're a smarter man than Tom was. The witch looked like her, but it wasn't. Barbara was sweet. He didn't understand until it was too late. He tried to undo it, wrote himself, her, everything he'd ever written out of the world. Oh, he was so famous. And afterward, no one knew. Oh, Tom. He left only one thing behind in my care, in case it happened again. Insurance.
I curse you,
Trusted
Thomas
me.
Zane.
Or perhaps used me a little. Tom knew how I felt. Knew I wouldn't refuse him. I built the well-lit room and put it there. It's been waiting for you. We are...
Hunting rifle kills, 29. If I had to guess, it's probably 50 for an achievement.
Characters trapped in a story you have written, and none of us will survive to see the end of it if the darkness isn't stopped. She'll twist the story to her own dark ends.
How do you know all this?
Tom, that's the way he wrote it. He still talks to me, you know, in television, from beyond, from below. We have both been touched by the darkness, young man. He saved us both with light. The darkness stays with you. You sustain. This pipe will take us directly to the well-lit room.
Okay, I need to call my friends, tell them where we're going.
Hello? Al!
Barry, we're headed to the dam in one of the pipes. Meet us there.
Okay, I'll tell Sarah.
It's Sarah now?
Whoa! No! For the sweet love of...
Barry! Barry! We gotta go see if they're okay.
They're probably dead. You must reach the well-lit room. This is no time to be a selfish idiot.
That's my best friend.
Well, be a fool. I'll use the pipe. I'll meet you at the dam if you make it.
What a landing. The judges go
At least I
wild.
didn't have to worry about her. She knew how to stay safe.
Anyway. That's there. The well-lit room. Sorry, I'm just trying to read the signs and stuff so that if people aren't necessarily watching, which you don't have to, just listening is fine, you're not missing out on anything.
Sarah was almost starting to relax. Maybe they could turn this into a win yet. Suddenly, there was a piercing sound, like a table saw gone wild, as 100 birds made out of shadows swarmed into the rotor. The chopper bucked wildly and the board lit up, telling her what she already knew. They were going down. Barry Wheeler screamed next to her.
they got too close before I used the torch. Luckily, I don't kill more birds, so I'll just let them go. Grab the checkpoint. I dislike the birds. That's one flock down. They flocked off, if you will. Ha ha! What a joke. I'm here for another hour or so, I think.
Barry! Sheriff
Actually,
Breaker! Sarah!
we'll see. Might just get to the end of the chapter. Episode, sorry.
The crash site looked bad, but as far as I could tell, the wreck was empty.
It looks a bit flat. I don't know. Well, it room this way. I'm not running because I might need the stamina to dodge.
Barry! Barry! Over here! Hang in there, I'm coming! Get the hell back, you freaks!
Oh, what a beautiful shot that was.
He was just here. Where'd he go?
Trying to get that rifle kill
No one
thing.
to make an entrance wake. We were ready to make like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
I have a different ending in mind.
Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks for asking.
I knew you'd be all right.
How's that?
The flaming eye of Mordor?
Laugh it up, funny man. Didn't we have somewhere to go?
We
Yeah,
will meet us at the dam.
the dam. I could hear the breathing. I was like, it's here somewhere. I don't have to look at the guide to know that there's a chest somewhere nearby. There it is. Sweet. Giant concrete pipe. I got spooked by some grass then. We don't talk about that. Okay, they are following. Okay.
When you spend most of your night running uphill while a crazy bunch of demon hicks try to take your head off with an axe, you know your helicopter crash landed in Night Springs.
Not bad. Not bad at all, Barry. I'd watch that episode. Can I grab this without... no.
Ooh. Oh, man. Oh, jeez, I hate this. Ooh, I should have kept that gym membership.
Oh.
See those lights? That's the elevator we need to take.
Yeah, but I hear the music and I see the lighting effect, so more taken.
What the hell is that thing? It's everywhere. Oh, crap. There's more than one of them.
Nothing moves like that. It's impossible.
Yeah, it is.
Hal, do something.
Those are really annoying.
He's too fast. I can't get a shot.
Auto aim can though.
There. No, there. Hal, they're all over the place.
How
Nah,
many of them are there? Where'd that one go?
Over there, Sarah, where I'm pointing. Auto aim, take the wheel.
Was that it? Are we safe?
That was... wow. I think we're okay.
Hey, Al, I got a bad feeling.
Let's keep our eyes open.
I'm looking for a giant concrete pipe.
Let's take a break, huh?
Al, let's be careful,
Oh.
huh?
There. Taken a field with darkness. According to that piece of graffiti.
Wait, call the elevator. I'm keeping watch.
I think I hear something moving around.
I can press the button. I am an award-winning author. I can press buttons.
Heads up! Here they come!
Oh no! Oh no!
They're coming! We have to hold them off!
Here's where I already have an achievement for kills with the hunting rifle because it's 25. I like how they go flying. It makes my eyes happy.
Slowest elevator in the world.
I quite clearly shot over your head there, sir. You were supposed to realise that was a warning shot.
It's almost here, Wake.
39 kills with a hunting rifle. Like I said, I'm assuming it's 50.
It's here! Al, let's go!
Wait, there's...
Ow, please, you'll get us
Oh,
all
hi.
killed.
Get the goddamn elevator.
You know what? That's not worth it. I only have 2 rounds.
Al, button. Get this elevator going, will ya?
I like how I have to press the button, otherwise the game's like, nah, the lift might leave without the player. So I'm at what, 43, something like that? Yeah, 43 hunting rifle kills. Cool.
What's there? There's an entrance into the dam at the top. What's the plan, Wake?
Well, Weaver's crazy, but she's got something Zane left behind. Something to fix this.
Gee, could you be a little more vague?
Thomas Zane? Seriously? Might as well be Paul Bunyan or Bigfoot.
Yeah, well, he was real.
I'm just checking. To see if there is a hunting rifle kills achievement. Yes, defeat 50 taken with the hunting rifle. Cool. Well, that's 50 for most things actually. So yeah, I think hunting rifle was the last one to get. But obviously, I do have
Be careful, okay?
a
Oh, jeez, I hate this.
I do have another playthrough at least for Nightmare, and I need to replay. There's like a timed achievement for one of the episodes, for the back half of one of for the first half of one of the episodes. Sorry, that's that one. So that should be 88 of 100. Yep.
Okay, Wake. There's a button over there that opens the door.
There is, isn't there? It's awfully suspicious. Boop.
I think something's broken. Hold the button down so we can get in.
Really? Okay, fine. I could really go for some hunting rifle ammunition. What a surprise.
What's happening out there?
You guys go ahead and find Weaver. She should be in the dam now. I'll have to make it alone through the top.
Okay, Wake. Good luck.
I think it's that way, but it needs opening.
Please, be careful.
I'll take good care of Barry, Wake. You just look after yourself.
She's the Barry sitter.
You gotta be kidding me.
Right, I just wanted to kill those so they weren't just, you know, chasing me.
Thomas Zane knew he had to remove all that had made this horror possible, including himself. That was the only way to banish the dark presence he had unleashed and now looked at him through the eyes of his dead love. But he also knew that despite his best efforts, it might someday return. So even as he wrote himself and his work out of existence, he added a loophole as insurance, an exception to the rule. Anything of his stored in a shoebox would remain.
Aye. Look at Thomas Zane and his zany ideas. But Tish. I believe that this section is where I got one of my first large raids. Probably not going to happen again, admittedly, because I was playing in Halloween at that point.
I was ridiculously outnumbered. The searchlight could even the odds.
Informed I'm a psycho killer. Am I okay? No, I'm never okay though, so that's not really anything new. But hello, welcome Kiwi. Could do without that cutscene happening again.
You will go no further.
Well, Barbara Jagger, I have one thing to say to that. I will simply walk into Mordor.
Stop now.
In fact, by trying to stop me, you have just given me the help I needed to get into Mordor, or the dam, depending on which way you want, what you want to call it, really. Do 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 do. It's very tense, chat. The trouble I have with this chase sequence is you can't do it very quickly because Alan has no stamina. So the stakes aren't all that high because they can't do that much because Alan will just stop running if you run for too long. Love the makeup, you look amazing. Thank you, I tried to match it to my t-shirt. One day I'll get some green lipstick to match. Marie's fine in a New Jersey accent. No, I won't. It's all the same to you. So like fine. The only thing I will read in the New Jersey accent is Baby Dragon and Time Wizard.
You made it. Well done.
I think there's a cutscene after this, so.
Glad I was wrong.
Barry?
It was a foolish chance to take. Don't
Barry?
worry about the noise. We're safe here. I have looked after the well-lit room for many, many years now. There is no shadow in the well-lit room. The power is fail-safe, and all the bulbs are numbered and changed regularly based on their make and model.
Right.
How's Beautiful Angel doing? Not great. She could do some self-care days, but it's not an option, unfortunately. Like I say, I think there's a cutscene
There's
here.
an old army base at Raincoat Point, north of...
I'm just going to double check that I haven't missed anything, because I'm going to be annoyed if I have. 85 manuscripts, 89 thermoses. Yes, I'm on track. We're all good.
It was active during the Second World War. They operated here back then. They must have built this.
Yes, they did. It's my place now.
I live here now. We don't have plans that I'm aware of, but, you know, obviously, we'll check. Oh, do I have to? I do. There's the cutscene.
Take it, and I won't need to worry about the room anymore, because 6 and 33 and 118 need changing soon, and I don't want to climb up the ladder to change them because it's very late, and I'm tired. And if you take it, I won't have to do that anymore.
The page was autobiographical, a memory from my childhood. But I didn't write this. It was a page written by Thomas Zane. None of them were supposed to exist anymore.
Alan, 7 years old, would fight sleep to the bitter end. When he did sleep, he soon woke up, screaming, the nightmares fresh in his mind. One evening, his mother, sitting by his bed, offered him an old light switch. She called it the clicker, and flicking the switch would turn on a magical light that would drive the beast away. To imbue the talisman with all possible power, she added that it had been given to her by Alan's father. Alan never knew him, and anything of his took on mythical proportions in his mind. With the clicker firmly in his hand, Alan finally slept like a baby. Now, almost 30 years later, Alan thought of this as he stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, the clicker in his hand. He took a deep breath and jumped.
My mind swirled. I'd given the clicker to Alice, yet it was here. Zane had written it into existence in a story I had written. I can get to her now. I can finish this.
You can't if you're trapped in a vault, my friend. For those of you who want to see more of the clicker, highly recommend checking out the first part of my Quantum Break playthrough, where I lost my mind because it appeared in Quantum Break, and I was like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. And I watched the video that it appears in like twice, I think. I believe I went back at the end of the game and rewatched the video. Bum 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 bum.
Previously on Alan Wake, I wrote a horror story that has come true. Thomas Zane did the same.
I really like this game, okay?
No further. If I continue like the Dark Presence wants me to, the story I'm writing won't save Alice. It's a horror story. No one will survive.
You knew Zane! Thomas Zane! You're the Lady of the Light in the song!
He left something behind to help me. The clicker.
Alan thought of this as he stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, the clicker in his hand. He took a deep breath and jumped.
I can get to her now. I can finish this.
Just as in episode 6, Departure, which is the name of the novel. No, that's The Return. New York City, 2 years ago. Alan, really? Shoes? On the bed? You absolute monster. I haven't been there.
I had a hangover. My head was about to explode and the light hurt my eyes. I needed my sunglasses and painkillers to dull the pain. In one of my finer moments of self-deception, I swore to quit drinking.
A better person than you. Well, I mean, I wouldn't go that far. I just haven't had cause to sleep in a bed with my shoes on. I don't even like lying on the bed in outdoor clothes.
Fast. The prospect of being awake started to seem bearable again. The lights were like needles in my eyes. I needed my sunglasses.
Which are beneath a light. Okay. That was really cool.
Sunglasses made the world look bearable. Now I could keep my eyes open without feeling like a vampire in the sun.
That's a really cool effect. I'd forgotten they did that.
There was a message waiting for me on the machine.
You have one new message. Al! Are you still asleep? Wakey, wakey! You should have your show on your TiVo. If Alice wasn't too mad to record it. Yeah, she called me earlier and really chewed me out. Yeah, we went a little overboard last night. But parties are a part of this business. Al, look, I'm saying this as your friend. She's not doing your career any favors by trying to run your life like that, okay? I'll talk to you later, Al. Watch the show.
Okay, so this is the last TV show in the game. Pretty sure this is an interview with Popes of the Fall, actually.
Show tonight. I've been talking with the best-selling author Alan Wake about his new book, The Sudden Stop.
Yeah, good read. Go buy it.
No, it is.
There's Sam Lake.
Read. Look, I'm gonna be honest here.
Is that wise?
No, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I got people who give me the lowdown on books. I'm a busy guy, but this one I actually read from cover to cover. I mean, I'm a big fan.
Wow, thanks.
Now, this might be a spoiler for those who haven't read the book yet. Based on the sales figures, the 2 people out there who haven't read the book yet. But this last book is all about the death of the main character, the hard-boiled New York detective, Alex Casey. Now, there's been a lot of outrage about this. Why the hell did you kill Casey? What the hell were you thinking, man?
Good riddance. No, seriously though. 7 years and 6 books is a long time. He was a gloomy guy to spend all your working hours with, and it was a good run. But it's time to explore new things. My next book will be a departure from the old for me.
You selfish bastard, always thinking of yourself. Well, you've certainly given us a lot of entertainment over the years. And now that you mention it, Casey was a gloomy guy. Never had much luck with his love life with the ladies. Was that autobiographical in any way?
Yeah, no kidding. Casey's lady friends tended to die on him. With Casey, it was all about his pain. No, nothing autobiographical about that. I'm a happily married man. My wife is my muse.
Well, congratulations. That's great to hear. So, how's the publicity tour been treating you?
Good. Great. But I gotta say, I'm glad to be back home in New York.
Well, you've certainly been on the news a lot lately. Lots of parties and, you got into a fight with some paparazzi.
Oh, man. Well, that guy was really in my face. I lost my temper. I know that wasn't cool.
You are famous for that temper.
Well, I did also write several books.
Well, your latest
good one.
novel is called
It's good
The
return.
Sudden Stop, and it's in bookstores now. Go get it.
Isn't that the Max Payne cover?
2 of you out there who haven't
No.
bought it yet.
Never mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have for you tonight. I want to thank all our guests for the evening. Alan Wake, Sam Lake. Once more, do the face for a Sam.
There's the Max Payne face.
And our musical guests, Poets of the Fall. Thank you.
Told you Poets of the Fall were in this.
At least I'd been funny. I told myself I could live with that.
Did you watch the show?
For those who don't know, Sam Lake is like the head writer for Remedy, and he was the face model for Max Payne.
I didn't say anything stupid if that's what you want to know.
Okay, Grumpy. You want an aspirin or something?
Are you gonna start with me about drinking now?
You know,
I should have followed her advice, but suddenly I was angry, mostly at myself, and she was there.
Convenient victim.
What? Now you can't even talk to me?
Well, this morning I was angry because you said you'd be home at midnight and you showed up at 7 a.m. and passed out in mid-sentence. Now I'm over it. Are you angry?
This goddamn tour. It's gotten out of hand.
Oh, honey. It's almost over, right? We can get back to normal. Then you can start writing again.
I'm sorry, honey.
Alan, you're not thinking straight. Just take a shower and go back to bed, huh?
Yeah, you're right, honey. I'm sorry. Once this is over, let's go away together. A vacation. Just you and me. Some peace and quiet.
Her hair is clipping into her back, and it's making me uncomfortable. Bright Falls, the present day.
Somehow, the clicker was the key to the cabin. I had to return to Cauldron Lake to save Alice. I'm going back to the lake to finish this. I'm going to write an ending to the story in the manuscript on my own terms, to make it all right.
Why can't you just write it here?
The last page is still in the typewriter. I need to read it first. Everything needs to be just right. Zane tried to cut some corners, and it didn't end well.
Okay, ready when you are.
I'm sorry, Sarah, but I need to do this alone. Barry, take her gun. Miss Weaver, close the door when I leave.
Good luck, Al.
See you later. When I got out, it was warm and sunny. I'd flicked the switch of the clicker. Had it done this? I didn't stop to question it. I had to take advantage of the sunlight to get to the lake. On Zane's page, I'd stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, about to use the clicker. That's where I was headed. Alone, in daylight, surrounded by the beauty of the Pacific Northwest landscape. It was hard not to let doubt creep in one last time. I could still chalk everything up to a dream, a delusion. I had enough imagination to make up something like this, having been in the cabin all this time, trapped in a story inside my head, gone mad from grief over Alice's death like Hartman had claimed. There would be no way of knowing. I told myself it didn't really matter. My course was set.
Okay, so there is an achievement here to get to Cauldron Lake without firing, without using a firearm. So I'll attempt it, but I'm not going to, frustrate myself because of it. Cauldron Lake Campgrounds, your home in the pines. Visit the Haunted Witch's Ladle. Stay in our country cabins or bear-free campsites. Enjoy the sunny lake shore. Now, the fact that that's emphasized makes me feel like it's No Snake Hotel, and there's definitely no snakes in that hotel. Buckle up, it's the law. After driving a little while, look to your right and spot a rest area. Big sign says the Majestic. This is the right side of the road. Yep. So I was checking where the driving seat was. Figured I may as well attempt to obey the road driving laws, having just held a gun. Having just held a gun on a police officer. Never been to the more snakeless hotel? I know, right? Elderwood Palace Lodge. The Elderwood Palace Lodge, where history meets hospitality. Enjoy the luxurious comfort of an authentic heritage home, and I can't quite make out what's on the other side of the sign. Oh, I suspect this is it. The Majestic Motel, just down the road. Come on in. Comfortable beds, clean rooms, wireless internet, laundry facilities, cable TV and kitchenette in every room. Phone 555-8923. So we're all Pacific Northwest, as long as you stay on the road without hitting anyone, you're doing great. I'll bear that in mind. I also have no way of monitoring my speed, so hopefully I don't exceed the speed limit. Logging area off to the left. Okay. 97.6 kbffm. Oh, there's the arrow on the log. Yep, I was like, I'm going to hit that. And I did. Hopefully I won't need to use it, but obviously if I do end up using it, I've still got 7 kills to get with it, so... Smooth as butter. The thing was on the rock. Is it in the shack? Oh, so check out Satet winning points. Stop when you get to the tunnel, go to the barn on your left. So this is the kind of countryside I'd like to just explore and just walk around in. I don't like cities, chat. I don't like living in a city, if I'm being honest. But it's where we could afford. So, you know, we'll take it. Tunnel. Okay. Happy's being mean to you? Well, don't be mean, Happy. Oh, the annual Night Bright Falls Deer Festival. Oh, hey, that looks sus. Go to the barn on your left. We could afford to live in the country but not the city. Yeah, property values are weird. He tried to eat you and spit you back out, which is rude. Well, I guess. Fine. I'll get out of the van. Oh no, who could have foreseen this?
There was a link between us. Always would be.
Could feel it getting closer.
Getting closer.
I will kill your wife.
Again, I'm trying to get there without killing things. There's a car just there.
The Dark Presence was no longer trying to capture the Rider so he could create the ending it wanted. The Rider knew too much. He was too strong. And he carried a weapon left behind by Thomas Zane, something that could hurt it. Now, the Darkness was doing everything in its power to simply stop the Rider from ever reaching Cauldron Lake and the dark place it came from.
Yeah, what you got to remember, Kiwi and Happy, I'm not your parent. You do whatever you want. I can't stop you. Majestic Motel. Okay. You're not? I thought you adopted me. Oh, no. No, I didn't. It's all good. And dead. I assume this is the Majestic. You're not adopted, you're just a member of the family. There's no legal grounding for this. I was hoping there'd be more flares in there, if I'm being honest. The Majestic Motel, general information. Refundable $100 security deposit is required on all reservations. No personal checks accepted. We take all major credit cards and bank cards. Checkout time is 10 AM. No loud music. No pets. After the sign, it looks your... Oh, 1 vehicle per unit. Facilities are for registered guests only. No visitors are allowed on the premises after 9 PM. No exceptions. We hope you enjoy your stay at the Majestic. If you're a senior or a vet, ask about our discounts. I'm going to assume they mean veteran, because offering a discount to a veterinary surgeon and not a doctor just seems a bit weird.
Based on the signature in the motel register, Agent Nightingale had stayed here, in room number 2.
Look outside the motel, you see them on the wall. Okay, that's a checkpoint at least. Oh, over there, okay. Right, well, this is going to be fun without firing a weapon. And then I'll go to Agent Nightingale's room. Hoot! Hang on. Can I jump onto the car? Should be 12 of 12. No! What? I didn't miss any. Is it because I didn't shoot it? Well, that's mildly annoying. That's going to bother the heck out of me. I don't know what to do. Checkpoint was in the office. Yeah, I guess it's because I didn't shoot it. It didn't count as knocking it over. Just make sure. Yep. Let's try that again, I guess. Maybe restarting the checkpoint will fix it. Oh, by the way, we're of course taking that sweet ramp. Wow, game, really? I'm just going to see if I can get all the cans off of the wall. Please. Thank you. Okay, well that's not working because I'm not shooting it. Fantastic. Where am I on the hunting rifle kills? 43. I guess it's easier to just reload the checkpoint and come back to this at a later date to shoot that. If I get time on oh, right, yeah, no stream on Friday, by the way. No stream on Friday. Oh no, that's Camp Pyramid 11 of 12. Never mind. Ignore me. I was misreading the map. And I also want to be in Unit 2.
Look after yourself and your co-worker.
Could have fooled me, pal. This had obviously been the room where Agent Nightingale had stayed when he hadn't been busy harassing me.
And there has been some harassment. I think that's fine for the Gunless Wonder achievement. Anyway. Big bridge. Barn. I guess they despawned when I went in the room. Oh no, I saw them walking over there. Sweet jump, bro. I like how the conceit of the setting, it being a hunting town, allows them to just give you flares and flashbangs a lot of the time. Well, maybe less so flashbangs.
What the hell?
Oh dear. But the flares, definitely. Ow, could you not though? Let's try and get some health back by standing on top of the flare. Also, it looks like a deer from a distance, but it's not. Please, give me the flashback.
Nice to see you, too.
Gonna stand here to get some health back. Avoid what you can. You're next to the barn on the left with a bright light. Okay. I will have to wrap up soon though. But I'm just trying to get as far into this as I can. Oh, that bomb. That bright light, I guess. Right, it's left bumper in a car. I wonder if the car can explode. I think it did. I think I have a problem. I sure do. Okay, restart checkpoint. Because I couldn't get out of the car to move it to get in the in the truck. Right. Okay, it's A to boost in the car. I always think A is handbrake for some reason. Wow, that was just a plain white box texture, huh? Front down 15 taken with a car. Crossfield, the monster truck have to go out the left door, run to the houses on the porch. Okay, I think I see it. I think it's over here. I should really drive this way. I don't know why I'm doing this. This is stupid. I'm making a poor life choice right now. Can I go in here? I cannot. Never mind. Right, back to the barn. Yep, that's why this was a poor life choice. Oh, Barry winning 5 points. Okay, decent ways along the road, you'll have a school bus rolling towards you. You'll enter a tunnel towards a safe haven, just before the safe haven. And a safe haven means a checkpoint, so I will likely end the stream there. Stuff's going down, the controller is vibrating. Curse you, dark presence! You love sticky concerns? You know what? Sticky concerns are fun. Okay. Caught a tiny bit of that. Can I... Wait, I can. What's that on the ground? Ammunition. It's gonna... I don't need it, but I'm gonna pick it up anyway. Unless there's flares, which I do need. Oh. Heck yeah, flare. Single flare. Could have done with more than one flare, but there we go. Alright, anyway. You'll enter a tunnel. You'll be running towards a safe haven at the end. As you run towards it, you'll see on the ground as you right, just before the light. Okay. I suspect this car is strategically placed. Yeah, it sure is. Fantastic. Thanks, game. Thank you, Remedy, for that. I'm going to get to the checkpoint and then wrap up, just because then I've got the next manuscript. Pop that to stun them. Pop that to do the same. Grab that. There's the checkpoint.
The bottom of Cauldron Lake was a graveyard of things the lake had claimed in one way or another over the decades. The dark presence brought them up in its wake, scattering the rotten waterlogged hull of an old boat here, the remains of a long-ago crashed airplane there, trees shattered under the impacts. The earth groaned. It didn't even notice.
How long have I been streaming? Just under 4 hours. Oh gosh, how long is left in the episode? There's a decent amount of stuff left in this episode in terms of collectibles, so I assume there's a decent amount of things left to go. So I'm just going to... hang on. It's exclamation uptime, but I can see in OBS. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just gonna... Just trying to figure it out. I think... Because I'm getting kind of hungry, and Angel will be finishing work in 10 minutes. And I need to get food sorted for when she gets home and stuff. Yeah, I think I'm going to end the stream here. I'm also kind of hungry, as I mentioned, and kind of low on blood sugar, so there won't be a raid. So YouTube, thank you for watching. I really appreciate the support. Please do pet pets, tell them good pets. Please do stay safe, healthy, wholesome. Reminder, no stream on Friday because Angel and I are traveling on Friday. So the last stream this week will be Thursday. But until Thursday, YouTube, have a good one.